Hi guys, welcome to this video. So for this pick a card, I'm gonna look at what you want from life versus what life wants for you. And I was actually inspired to make this video because I had a conversation with a friend of mine, about how's life going, and sometimes life just throws things at you and you can't really control it and you don't know how to get through it and stuff like that. And in the light of, in a spiritual community with meditation and stuff like that, then I think it's, she said something along the line with, when you find the balance of what you want in life and what life wants for you, then that's when life becomes effortless. So of course there are still obstacles and stuff like that, but I think it's the most smooth path to get through life is when you find that golden middle ground of what you want from life and what life wants for you. So meaning what life wants for you is, I guess, what your soul planned for you, what your soul wants to learn when it's down here, or what the universe or your angels or your guides and stuff like that, like from a higher perspective, right? Because if we could just control what we wanted from our physical body, realm, mind, stuff like that, then life would be easy, right? We could just say, I want to make a lot of money, and so we make a lot of money. But that's just not always how it is. That's not how it goes. So I feel like there's a deeper meaning to life. And when we find that golden middle way, middle route, middle point, it becomes a little easier. So we have 4 piles here today. And this is the longest video I've ever made, not in the sense of how long it is, even though the last pile is 1 hour and 20 minutes. And that was wild. That felt like a personal reading because it was just there wasn't much, much variation in what was coming through. And it was, so in depth. But I really liked the other piles as well. And, but it's the longest video, and meaning that it took me weeks to make this. Usually when I do these kind of videos, it takes me a maximum of 2 days. So I sit down, do 1, 2, or 3 even piles, and then I'm tired, I don't have any more energy. And so the next day I do the rest of the piles, 1 or 2 or whatever is left. And then I do the intro in the end, like I'm doing now. So I think I did pile 1 and 2 in the same take, and then maybe a week later, pile 3, and then weeks later after that, I did pile 4. So it's kind of interesting. But I haven't, been doing a video for a long time. So maybe this is the way I'm going to do videos from now on, because I really want to do videos, but I don't have the energy and the time to do it the way I used to do it. But I still really, really love to do it. And I see from your comments that you really love the messages as well. So I will try to get more videos in there. And I do have a long list of of subjects, or readings with different subjects. How do you say that? Different topics that I can do. So yes, if you're new to pick a pile, then what you can do is, if you feel drawn to one of the cards or drawn to one of the crystals, then that's your message. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, that's not uncommon. Then that means that there's messages for you in the piles that you're drawn to. So when you pick your pile, you're going to go down in the description box below here, and you're going to find timestamps, and then you're going to press the time, which is a link to the pile that you have, and then the video is going to jump to that pile. So I think that's all for now, you guys, and remember to like the video if the pile resonates for you, so this video can get out to more people who needs to see it. Yes, so if you haven't picked your pile yet, put the video on pause, because we're going to jump to pile number 1 now. Pile number 1 So you chose this beautiful green card. It says here, my mind is opened and I'm ready to learn new things. This book and this, I want to say it's kind of magical, right? And the feel of nature here. And I can't remember the name of this crystal. I'm so bad at names for crystals. It's not, what's that called? That classical, I want to say mountain rock, but it's not, you know, the totally classic clear quartz. It's not that. It's something else. It has very, very faint tint of pink. And then it has like these, I don't know, I guess it's that's how it's cut. But yeah, something else. Very expensive, actually, this was. So too bad that I don't remember the name. I just felt attracted to it. So first off, I'm going to do like overall of what you want from life. So you can see if this resonates with you, this pile. And then I'm going to see overall what life wants from you. Then I'm going to see what you want in relationships. And then I'm going to see what life wants for you in relationships. And then I'm going to see what you want for work, if you even know what you want from work. And then I'm going to see what life wants for you for work. Or I don't want to say, I don't know, work, like your place in society, I guess, right? So let's start off here with, I really love this color. It's beautiful. I haven't done a reading for ages, you guys, so I may be a little rusty. But let's look at overall what you want from life. Ooh, Two of Swords. So this is the Mad Hatter. This is my deck I created, so I know the story behind every picture. So Two of Swords is usually a card depicting someone blindfolded, like this guy, but also holding a sword in each hand, crossing the heart. So saying something about not listening to your heart, not seeing what's right in front of you, difficult making decisions and stuff like that. But in my deck, I don't know why, but I just really wanted, yeah, I do know why. I really wanted something with the Mad Hatter because I love that guy, but I don't know why it became this one, intuition. So this Two of Swords is about using your intuition, right? Going with your heart and living your life from, that gut feeling of what you want to do. And I know society says this one thing and, your friends are saying a thing and your parents want you to do a thing, but you want to do a different thing, right? So your parents want you to go to school, get a great education, stuff like that. Society says that as well, but you want to go traveling, right? So there's something here about listening, that this is how you want to experience your life, listening to your gut feeling, going through life blindfolded, meaning that you don't have to know what's going to happen. You want that mystery, you want that excitement of life, you want that, if we know everything that's going to happen, then we're going to kind of conform into that. So this guy is just walking very confidently down the steps, and he's not tripping, he's not falling. He knows where he's going because he's going with his gut feeling, he's going with his heart, even though he can't see the world around him. Like this beautiful world, he can feel it. So he might not see it with his eyes, but he's feeling it, he's seeing it in another way. So what other people would perceive as, wow, this is beautiful, like these giant mushrooms and giant flowers, and because they're seeing it, that's like 90% of our input is through sight. So if we cut off the input of sight, the other inputs of hearing, smelling, touching, sensing, right, with your whole being, is in heightened. How do you say that? It's it's heightened. So that's what he's doing. Like he's walking through life with his being, with his whole being, right? That's very interesting. So overall, that's how you want to walk. Like that's how you want to be in life and experience life. I really like that. That's beautiful. Let's see what life wants for you. Same deck. Okay. I'm so nervous to get like a negative card, like Three of Swords or something when when I do this, what life wants for you, right? Because that, how are you going to interpret that? Yeah, Five of Wands, that is like a negative card. Because it talks about conflict. But let's see what else we can get from this. So this is a witch and a wizard in a battle. I don't want to say conflict. I want to read it as like another energy, like challenges is what I want to say. Life wants to give you challenges. Yeah, and I feel like you're like, bring it. Like that's actually a really good match. Because you're like, yeah, bring it. I want the challenges because I'm going through life not knowing what's going to happen. So yeah, you want the challenges. You want to be challenged. That's how you grow. So that's actually a really good match. So I won't say this is a negative thing. I would say, yeah, wow, I thought it was going to be much more deep. But maybe when we go into relationships and work and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. My mind is open. I'm ready to learn new things. That makes so much sense. Like your soul is just here to learn and you just love it. So let's see here. What do you want from relationships? Let's try this deck here. These cards are so big. Alright, they just went on the floor. Here we go. So big. So they're hard to shuffle. Okay, let's see. This is Nine of Coins, Nine of Pentacles. To find calm in your own presence is a form of riches, it says here. Four of Cups. Pulling away can give you an opportunity for perspectivating. But opportunity can also pass. It says here, this is the Hermit. Every path you explore learns you something new about yourself. I really love that. This is like... So this is what you want from relationships. I feel like you choose yourself above relationships. And I'm saying that because this Four of Cups here, like someone offers you something, but you kind of feel like, you know what, I think I'm going to lose. Also because we have the Hermit. I think I'm going to lose a part of myself if I go into this relationship. So I feel like you're not really willing to take a chance in relationships, actually. So that's so interesting because you're willing to take a chance in life in general. Like you could go through life blindfolded and kind of like everything life throws at you, your attitude is, yeah, bring it on. Like I want more of this. This is exciting. But it feels to me when it comes to relationship that you feel kind of tied down, like you're such a loner in that way. You're not a loner because it feels like you're very social. It feels like I get that traveler feeling, like we have a traveler here, and I got it from this guy as well. And yeah, you're so comfortable in your own skin and your own body, and it feels like you don't, it's not that you don't need anybody, but you're content with friends and family and, you know, companionship, like maybe animals, or you don't really, it doesn't, the romantic side of things doesn't seem to have much weight in your life, is what I want to say. And then I feel with this card that is kind of the feeling of I don't want to take the chance, like I'm enjoying my life and I got it all together, and it kind of feels like a burden to have a relationship, actually. That is interesting. So I think if you had like the romantic relationships you have or have had during your life is kind of like a more like superficial, like they haven't been deep and long, and or maybe you did experience that, like a deep and passionate relationship, and you burned yourself so much that you became this person that just like, I can rely on myself, right? I'm a strong, independent person. I don't need anyone else. I'm not taking offers. I'm not taking romantic offers, is kind of what I'm saying. So what does life want for you in, just looking around at my cards here, I have so many. What does life want for you? Okay, I'm just gonna go up here on the top shelf. These cards. What does life want from you in the romance department? Relationships department, not necessarily romantic. Oh, here we go. Yeah, curious to see if you're in tune with life, if you want the same thing. Strength and resilience. Oh, I can't make this up, you guys. Oh my God, I love this. Life wants a total opposite for you than you want for life. About relationships. That's so funny, you guys. I'm sorry I'm laughing. That's not, I don't think you think it's funny, but okay. Just composing myself. I do enjoy it actually when we get these, like, you think you go through life and you know, we got it all handled, like not you, but in specific, but people, right? And then, you know, like, I know what I want to do with my life. I know where I'm going. I know who I am, stuff like that, right? Strong, independent person here. And then life just wants something else for you. And it's such a funny thing also because you're here to learn. That's such a big part of your soul and your spirit. But you didn't want to learn in regards to the romantic sides, right? That's not what life wants for you. So I'm guessing you keep getting thrown flowers in your head, meaning offers, or meeting people that you are romantically attracted to, but you are kind of stopping yourself before it develops into anything because you're scared. I'm guessing. Because life wants for you, accept love. Like, it can't be more. I can't make this up, you guys. That's just... you got free will, so I'm not saying you have to do what life wants for you. I'm just saying this is what life wants for you, right? Accept love. Like, this is a whole kettle, a whole pot of just love pouring out into the air everywhere. It's just, and this is very interesting. Strength and resilience. Like, she's standing in the middle of the storm. So I feel like love. I feel like life, what life wants for you is to accept love, and it's gonna bring a lot of, how do you say that? Not, I don't know, challenges. You like a challenge, so it's not that, but it's just, it feels like you are so good at navigating through life and whatever challenge it throws in your face, and you're just like, ha, you know, evil plan left. Yeah, I got this. No matter what life throws in my face, I can handle it. Except love, right? That creates this kind of storm for you that you don't really know how to navigate. And they're showing me like a ship on a stormy sea. Like, you're afraid the ship is gonna sink. Like, you lost your compass, you lost your sail. You know, the boat is breaking down bit by bit, and it's gonna sink, right? That's your fear. So everything you worked for, this perfect harmony that you got with yourself, is gonna be jeopardized if you're getting into a relationship, right? And you feel it subconsciously, maybe even consciously, but you feel it subconsciously whenever you get attracted to someone, you pull away. Like, you could do the casual thing, but if they want more, which is kind of what you do too, but you don't allow yourself to want more. So when the other person wants more, it mirrors back to you that you actually want more, and that scares you. Because if they don't want more, you can keep it casual, because you can kind of constrain yourself, right? You can keep it casual because you're so good at putting bonds on yourself. But if the other person wants more, it mirrors back what is growing inside of you that you are keeping down, And if you got that mirror, you can't control it anymore, because they're gonna awaken that in you, and you can't calm it down anymore if the other person has it as well. Does that make sense? So I want to see why you don't want this. Like, what happened? Let's see if we can figure that out. Why are you so scared of love? Whoa. So Daisy. Wow. Entrapment. This is interesting. Entrapment. So feeling trapped. Dreams. Say what you mean. Temptation. So I'm guessing there has been like this temptation, right? A relationship with this temptation, and it felt like it was just dream coming true. I think maybe you even like you had maybe even had the feeling of the love of your life, right? This is beautiful. This is wonderful energy, but something kind of went wrong. Like, I feel like you are this person. Say what you mean. That's who you are. You're living your life without any filter. That's not, I'm not saying that you're that kind of person that is like mean and then covers it up by saying, oh, I only told the truth. That's not you. You are, but you're kind of like that no bullshit kind of person. Like, you don't take any bullshit. You just want to talk about things, get it out of the way. Or, if people don't want to talk about it, well, then you don't really want that. You're not that kind of, I feel like you're not the one who sweeps things under the rug, because you don't want things lying around bubbling like that. So either you talk things out. As I say that, I feel that's usually the other person instigating that. And when they do that, you are willing to talk about it. But I don't think you are good at instigating, taking the first step towards the other person saying, I really need to talk about this if there's a conflict. But I do feel like if you have a need in a relationship, let's say for traveling, you would tell your partner, I really love to travel, let's go traveling, like that. You say what you mean, you say who you are. You're not wearing any masks, you're not wearing any filters, and you're that kind of like no bullshit kind of person, I feel, which is a good thing. But something happened here with you being who you are, and then into entrapment. I think you lost yourself in that relationship. I think there is something here about, this temptation and this being such a dream, and maybe even the other person wasn't. So this is a general reading, take what resonates. But for some of you, maybe the other person wasn't even like legit, like, so we heard about narcissistic people and manipulative people, and stuff like that, people wearing a mask, people presenting as someone else, or maybe you just got into a relationship and you guys triggered each other a lot, and when you're triggered, you do stupid things, you say stupid things, you act in stupid ways, right? And especially if you're young. And yeah, I feel there is something here about that being, there was a dream, there was this temptation, but somehow you lost yourself in that relationship. I want to just see what the lesson was from that, actually. So, because if you know the lesson, then you can do something about it, I feel, right? You can work with it. Let's see. I'm just going to take a look at my cards here. I think this deck. Oh, what was the lesson of this relationship? Conscious connection. It's interesting. I feel like that's your lesson that life wants to teach you, like in general with relationship, conscious connections. So I think there is some kind of element of connection missing in that relationship. Connection to yourself, connection to the other person. I think maybe you fell in love with the dream, right? And there was this temptation, and then again they showed you, then they became someone else, I feel like. And for you to keep kind of this dream alive, you changed yourself for this person, and that's why you felt so entrapped, right? You felt imprisoned. You felt trapped. You felt like she's beautiful. Like, this is basically the same woman. That's wild. And she's beautiful, and she's fantastic, like fantastical, right? She has wings. She's a fairy on this picture. She's lying on a tiger. Like, you can't do that in real life. A tiger is a dangerous animal. It's like she kind of tamed you, I feel like. So this could be a man, or it could be a woman, but I'm just going to speak as a woman because it's a woman on the picture. So this person tamed you, right? And I think you felt like she took too much from you. And I'm not necessarily sure she turned you into something else. I think you did. I think she started, okay, this goes further back. I see. I think she started asking for more, and even then you couldn't give it. And so you felt trapped in the relationship because she had needs that you couldn't fulfill. I'm just going to see here. I'm just going to do my shadow deck and see if I can go back to childhood. Usually it stems from a childhood wound. Union. Wow, and this is my narcissistic card. This is crazy. I don't think this is childhood wounds. I think this is, because this is usually, I made this deck as well. It's shadows. Shadows is the parts of us that we deny. That could be personality traits, emotions, wishes, like a wish for union, right? But I feel like this is telling the story that I was telling here about someone being a narcissist, meaning that this peasant, I don't even know you call that in pawn, I guess. Yeah, peasant, because in Danish, the direct translation would be peasant, which is interesting. But yeah, pawn wearing a king's crown, but it's not a king, it's a pawn. So it's disguising itself as something more than it is, right? And then luring you into a union. So I just want to say, again, because this is general reading, this is necessarily what happened, but you can perceive it as that. And again, if this person, as the relationship grew, started to ask for more, because that's usually what happened. Like, when you're dating, you have other needs than if you're in a relationship, right? And you have other needs again if you're married and having kids. So the deeper you go into a relationship, the more needs you have to meet in the other person, right? And if it's not a match, then it's not a match. But I feel like here, for some of you that might be here, that might have been a narcissist, tricking you. And for others, it might just have been this person, as the relationship progressed, needed more from you because it got deeper and more intense and more connected, and you couldn't really give that. So I feel like this is not the reading to understand why, why you couldn't give that, or why you kind of like pulled away, because that doesn't mean that the other person asked for too much, and it doesn't mean that you can't deliver enough. It just means it's not a match. So it's not necessarily something from their childhood here, and I have other readings. You can go watch my playlists. I do all my readings is from a psychological standpoint, right? So, well, this is more spiritual, this one here, but you get what I mean. Self-development is kind of my thing here in the channel. So yeah, I feel like all of this, you're kind of this is you now, and being in the hermit mode and just being in life and stuff like that because you got hurt. You found this dream, and this dream is somehow dissolved, and it hurt you a lot. So life is really wants for you to get back out there, actually, conscious connections, you know, find that person that resembles you, but where there's still some things that's different, like the color of the umbrella, the color of this cloth. There's a pattern of this on this cloth, but other than that, they could definitely seem like twins, right, in the way they look. So there is someone out there for you that's a really good match for you, and where you complement each other in the ways that you are similar, and also complement each other in the ways that you're different. So that's what life wants for you. But again, you have your free will. You don't have to do it. But you might keep encountering these people that you are romantically interested in, and that scares you, because life is going to keep throwing that opportunity at you, because this is what life wants for you, right? So last one is work. Let's see what you want for work. I actually have, I have this life purpose. Not sure it can tell us much, but let's try it. Doreen Virtue made these like ages ago, before she stepped out of the New Age community. That's actually a very interesting journey, I think, that she's been taking, even though a lot of people have been very negative about it. You know, it's her journey. It's her choice, her life. So let's see. What would you like? No, I feel like, wait a minute. There's something else. Like this is... Okay. Let's do this one. What you want for life. Not necessarily in work, but in how you fit in society, I guess. Like how you can make money, or how you can function in this world. Like that could be living off the grid as well, right? Like I could see you as like some sort of travel, what is it? Travel agent, I guess. Like backpacking in Central America and just working your way from, you know, one hostel to the next, and earning your roof over your head and a meal a day kind of thing, right? Let's see what you want for work. Oh, okay. Thunder drum. Wow. That is you don't mind taking up space. You really wanna, I feel like you really wanna make a difference. Do I want other cards? I kind of do, but how would you like to make a difference? Okay, I'm gonna take a long shot to do these past life, also Doreen Virtue. They're past lives, so there might be might not fit, but let's see. Oh, okay. That was pretty quick. Spirituality and religion. Trees. Lessons and blessings. High priest and priestess. So lessons and blessings. Let's put this here because there's something, I get the feeling of past life regression therapy. So that could be a thing. I'm putting lessons and blessings here because you have that as a like kind of the theme of your life, right? But regression therapist is someone who takes people back through hypnosis to maybe childhoods or past relationships or whatever, like is kind of stuck in that person's nervous system, right? So they take them back to help them release whatever is blocking their system. It could also be regression therapy can also take you back to past lives. So that could also be a thing. Spiritual and religion. And it's so interesting with the high priestess. Oh, sorry, you guys. Because this is kind of in trees with the nature. Instantly, I'm thinking about a druid. I'm not sure that's even a thing anymore. I think the closest thing like the cousin to that would be a shaman. I guess that is still practiced to this day. I don't think there's druids anymore. But so the druid was from the Celtics in Scotland, Ireland. And shamanism is from indigenous people in America, so Indians or Native Americans. I'm thinking about Wicca as well, or witchery, or, very close with nature and the spiritual. This is so interesting, actually. Yeah, and we got this with the thunder drum. And that's a funny thing, because I felt like for this group, I needed this deck called Native Spirit. Again, with the shamanism and thunder drum, right? There is something about... It feels like you have this big personality, and it feels like you have a lot of knowledge on life, on spirituality, on trusting in life, or even like manifesting and stuff like that, or again, past life and regression and stuff like that. This is very interesting. So I feel like there is a spiritual component to whatever it is you want to do, because to me, working in nature is spiritual, even though we don't think of gardeners as spiritual. But to make plants grow and thrive, you have to have some kind of connection and understanding of the nature. And to me, that is spiritual. And that is what we should all have as humans, but we kind of lost it, right, in the evolution. This is interesting. Let's see what life wants for you. I want to do this Doreen Virtue's card. Doreen Virtue. Life, what's it called? Life Purpose cards. Wow, you guys. Energy healing. And these are not all spiritual. Like, there's a builder, an artist, and stuff like that in here as well. Teaching, so nutrition. So it's not all spiritual. So this is very cool. I feel like you're totally aligned with what you want and what life wants for you when it comes to your working path or your kind of like bigger purpose here on life. So I would say in general, you want from life what life wants for you, except from love, right? There is definitely this huge, I really love it. So much love, you guys, right? To receive. And it's just, and the conscious connections, like it's here for you. Life is keeps pushing this towards you because it's here for you, but you have to accept that, right? You have to, when it's being presented to you, you have to accept it. And I think also like the reason is that you're scared you're not grabbing the opportunity because you're scared, because every other part of your life you really got the hang of, right? You're very good at, when you get out the balance, to get back into balance. And you're very good at helping other people, right? In this world as well, with their spirituality, the energy, the healing, the whatever it is, right? Being a part of nature and stuff like that. So that's the funny thing, is when we're really good at stuff, then when we are presented with things we're not good at, we kind of just shut it down because we're so used to being good at things that that failure is kind of hits us even harder. So and also because it's relationships, so that's going to hit you very hard as well, right? The romantic relationships is the most challenging ones usually. So that's kind of the only place, like, well, again, you have free will. You don't have to do it. You can you can live life the way you want to live it, but just know that life is going to keep presenting you for this. It's going to keep putting you in this position with the hurricane here. And, the only way to learn to master it as she does it, right? And to find the eye of the hurricane where there is peace and calm is to go through the hurricane. You can't get to the eye of the hurricane without going through it, right? And they're going to keep sending it to you, and you're keep running. You're running away from it. And it's silly. It's not silly, I understand. But, you know, because inside this, the eye of the storm is like this peace and calm and overwhelming love. And there's even protection here, right? You learn to protect yourself and your inner child. So, and I love this. This is kind of like orange. Makes me think of the sacral chakra, right? So we have the root chakra, and then we have the sacral chakra. And sacral chakra is represented by orange, and usually is representing passion in life, creativity, ignition, you know, spirituality, and also sexual energy. So going into this here, mastering, I want to say, the love challenge in your life is going to make you even better, even more vibrant, even more this guy, right? Calling down the thunder. And with that, you can help even more people as well. Yeah. That was so interesting. I got this feeling of one last card, but it feels like an angel card with text, but I don't really. Oh, maybe this one. Let's try this one. My mom made these. These are so cute. Let's see if there's a message here for you. Oh, okay. So last messages. Be a little selfish. Shellfish. That's funny because that is kind of who you are when you meet these romantic relationships. You're open at the beginning, but then, you know, you get kind of triggered and you shut down, and then you kind of leave. Dance like no one's watching. There's a card too. There's, yeah. You are worth gold. This says, this is Danish, and this is in Danish as well. It says, put on the yes hat. Put on. Oh, that's so funny, you guys. So this is kind of like you're the little shellfish, and they're asking you to put on the yes hat. So you don't close up right away and give it a chance, right? I feel like this is more about dancing with life and being this hippo might be a little clumsy for a ballerina. So you might feel a little clumsy when you start doing this, you know, hopping into the deep water with relationships. But it's okay, you know, it's just another way to dance with life. In this particular case, you just have a partner. Right? You're so used to dancing with life on your own. So now you're ready to do it with a partner. Yeah, that's so cool, you guys. So I hope this makes sense. Yeah, and until next time, take care. Bye. Pile number 2. It shows this a yellow card with a stag. And I'm thinking this is the sun, kind of caught in his antlers. It says here, I stand up for what is right and fair, even if it's not easy. And the amethyst egg, I want to say, like, reminds me kind of a new beginning. So let's see. I'm gonna look at overall what you want from life, and then what life wants for you. And then I'm gonna look for what you want in romance or in relationships, which is just often romance. And then what life wants for you romantically or in relationships. And lastly, I'm gonna look at what you want for work or how you're here in life on this earth, and what life wants for you in that regard. So overall energy, overall what you want from life. That's interesting. I just split the deck, and this was from the first pile. Okay, overall, what you want from life. Emperor and the High Priestess. I feel like you want all seasons of life. So we have the summer here in the daytime, and we have the winter here in the nighttime. So it kind of feels like you want it all. Like you want to experience as much as possible in this life. You want to travel the world. You want to have a family. You want to have try an education. Maybe try different kind of jobs. You want to live maybe abroad, or try to make it as an artist, or there's just like you want as much as possible as you can get from life, I feel like. Yeah, and then we have the emperor here. I feel like you want to master life, actually. So we have the 4 is representing, to me, stability, and the number 2 is a balance. So there's definitely this feeling of wanting the most that you can get out of life, right? Being open to any kind of possibility is what I'm feeling here. So let's see what life wants for you. I'm a little curious because I feel like these cards, but these cards are from Heal Yourself, so they are kind of tough. Ina Segal made this deck, Heal Yourself it's called, and yeah, so it's all kind of wounds, so I'm not sure. Let's see what life wants for you. Oh, okay. I love that. I was afraid it was gonna be like really rough cards, because there's really some harsh cards in there. But what life wants for you is release your creativity and beauty. This is beautiful. Like this collides so well, like it goes together so well, that you want to experience everything in every part of life as much as possible. And I feel like it's the same life wants for you. Life wants you to immerse yourself in beauty in every possible way, and even like creating your own beauty, right? And creating your own life. And I feel like that's what you're doing as well. Trying to experience everything, then you're creating it. Like, say you want to travel the world, then you take measures on getting your finances in order and saving up, or maybe you're hired by a travel agency, or you're a travel journalist, or you and your partner renovated an auto camper, or a minivan, or you rented an auto camper or something, like you're traveling with that. So there's different kind of ways to get to the goal, right? How do you say that? Don't know. Just, I haven't done a reading in ages, and so first of all, my English is very rusty, and second of all, getting into readings again can be a little weird. So, but I feel like you and life is on the same page. You want the same from life as life wants for you. So that's a good thing. So far, so good. So let's see in romantic. What do you want from life in a romantic setting, or just relationships? Could be friendships and family too. Oh, okay. Wow, interesting. The Ace of Wands and Death. It's not literally death. Death is transformation. I think I'm gonna need more cards. Aces are always new beginnings, and I love, like, the Ace of Wands is it's a wand, right? Manifestation. And I created this deck here. I call it the fantasy deck, just for me. And Ace of Wands representing springtime in this deck. So something about blossoming, and this is so interesting because the Death card is here with the winter, right? So again, we have with the seasons, right? The winter and the winter, and the summer and the summer. So this is spring, but still with the flowers and everything and sunshine. And we have here, like the phoenix bird is walking with this elven woman, right? So elves are immortal. That's why I chose her for the death card, because she can walk around the death. She's surrounded of death by death throughout her life, because she's immortal, right? So everybody around her who's not an elf is going to die, and she has to deal with that, right? So it's not saying that everyone in your life is going to die. This is all transformation. So every kind of gravestone here is something you put to the grave in your life. So experiences or memories or relationships, not meaning that they died, but meaning that they ended, right? And so things has to end for other things to begin. And that's so interesting because, yeah, so the winter has to end for the spring to come. And we have to clear out, like if we have a garden full of weeds, we have to clear it out. And the weed has to end for the new flowers to be planted to begin, right? But what do you want in love? I feel like this is, it says, this is the same, I feel like more on your life. Like I feel like when I'm looking at this now, I'm asking on relationships, right? So this seems like you had many relationships throughout your life, not only romantical, like family and friends and co-workers and stuff like that. And as you progress through life, I think like that you are a person who, because you want every season of life, you have to put so many things to the grave, like an old career, an old friendship. You have to leave your family if you want to go traveling, stuff like that. So I'm not saying if you have kids, you're leaving your kids, but your mom and dad, your siblings, stuff like that. You're leaving them at home and you're going to live abroad, stuff like that. So you're constantly putting things to the grave because you are constantly in process in your life and constantly these new beginnings. But I want to know about relationships. So what do you want in relationships, from life in relationships? Oops, that's too many. Let's see if there's another deck that wants to talk. Let's try this one. Yes, that's better. Follow your own rhythm. Yeah, well, it's kind of like, it's a funny thing. Deck number 1 had it too, being that kind of a lone wolf. And it seems like no one can really keep up with you. I think you have like a few close friends, but it's the kind of friendship that, you talk every 3 months or maybe every 6 months. And every time you talk, it's the same. Like it's like it's like no time has passed. Your friendship is the same. Like you're catching up, but it's not that awkward kind of thing. It's like, hey, how you doing? And so nice to hear from you. How's the life? How's it going? I love you so much, right? Like your love doesn't diminish over time like it does for a lot of people. But I feel like you have a very few people in your heart, right? So you might like a lot of people. You might have met a lot of people that you like, but I think that there's a few people in your heart, and some of the relationships of those people has been put to the grave. So they might still live, of course, but the relationship had to end in some way or another, but the person is still in your heart. And then there's the others in your heart that is the ones for, you connect with every 3 to 6 months or something like that. And I feel like, again, you might have, so where you are now in life, you might have a best friend, for example, and you see each other on a regular basis, but as soon as your life changes, that friendship goes to the grave, or it gets pushed out into that 3 to 6 months interval of reconnecting, I feel, very, very lone wolf. Yeah, that's so interesting. So I'm just gonna look over my cards here and see what life wants for you in the romantic regards. So can we put this here? What does life want for you? Well, in relationships, I think. Relationships and romantic regards. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So what I'm looking at here is not the text, but it's actually that it's the same picture, but this is black and white and this is color, right? This is with the owl, which is a night animal. And then we have all this color, and it's kind of beaming out from her third eye. She has a huge butterfly on her throat chakra. And I feel like the message here is kind of like, because it says defend to the end the worthwhile, and over here it says the word wants to be written. I'm looking at the word defend here. I feel like in relationships, it's very interesting how similar this is to the first pile. Oh, I also my eye just caught the amethyst here. I feel like in relationships, there's something, so you're the lone wolf here, but you have like, I want to say occasional best friends, right? Depending on where you are in your life, but you're doing very well as you are, and you have your friends that you have these reconnection with maybe within 3 to 6 months, and you're just catching up and stuff like that. But other than that, you feel very independent. And I feel that's a survival mechanism. Just want to look into that, see if I've got something on that. Because this is the energy of being in defend mode. And this is the energy of opening up. And there's a kind of a running energy I feel from you. So running from life, running from things. That's difficult because I do see that when we are in, what was that card? Up here, I guess. When we are in this energy of, always moving on, always, we want the most from life. We can't stand still. Of course we can't. So, and most people can't really keep up with that. So it's kind of a natural thing that, relationship has to be buried, and, things change, life change. I want to see if I can get anything on like, get me more cards, Spirit, about pile number 2, what they want from life in love and relationship. No, not what they, yeah, we're still in what you want, right? Okay, just a second. That's too many cards. No, we're not. Now we're from. No. This is what you want. Okay. This is. Sorry, I got confused. This is what life wants for you. Did I say that? Oh, you guys. Maybe I'm not ready to make a tarot video yet. Maybe there's a reason I haven't been doing it for a long time. Give me a second here, guys. No, I feel like this is the two sides explanation kind of. It's not what the world wants for you. Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm not usually this distracted. I was trying to figure out why you kind of follow your own rhythm. And then these two cards came up, and there was something about being in defense. I wonder why, like, my head is so empty. And usually when I do these readings, it's, I get affected by the energy that I sit in. I think that you do this. I think you empty your head. I think you kind of, I don't want to say bury your emotions or something like that. You kind of just, I think that's the way you deal with things. Just saying, oh, okay, too bad, on to the next thing. And to me, it just translated in my body to having an empty head, because I'm constantly in contact with my emotions and with my body, and I don't really have that kind of empty head ever. That's not a me thing. And I do see the I see pros and cons. I see the pros of having this empty head, because this is kind of the new beginning energy that we had up here as well. Always kind of like, yeah, so we're putting this in the grave and then we're starting fresh, right? But there's just something about it that feels it's such a running energy. Help from above, discover your life purpose, and hole in the soul. Yeah. This is what I'm feeling. So this is what you're running from, the hole in the soul. This is such a puzzle. So sometimes when you do a tarot reading, it's clear cut and it's easy to read the cards. Other times you get kind of like a puzzle piece, right? You have to have all the pieces to make a bigger picture. And then when I also have this empty head, it's actually hard for me to put things together, because a lot of the way I am in life is through emotions and through sensing. So I take in a lot of input. And and now my brain is shut down. I don't feel anything. And there's just this emptiness also inside of me. Like there's the only thing I'm feeling is the running. And there's something here, the hole in the soul you're running from. I was sorry. Just looking at this, I don't know if you can see her face. She's kind of like side-eyeing, and I was just imagining, because it says help from above. I was just imagining that it was your angels and guides like side-eyeing you and saying, "Girl, what you doing?" But of course, they're not. It was just my imagination. Yeah, I feel like you're being guided, but you're running away from that too. Like there's these two sides to you, like this side over here being defensive, and the world is black and white. So it's easier to just shut things down and put it to the grave by saying, "Oh, this person is an idiot." Instead of looking at the nuances. Why did they say what they said? Why did they do what they did? Like, why are they acting like that? There's always a reason behind everything people say and do. And you might have got into a conflict, or they might have been disappointed with you, and you might have felt pressured, or it might have been like they wanted more from you that you can give them, or that you wanted back, or I don't know. But there's just this, you have this ability to just shut off, right? That's why my brain becomes empty. You just shut it off. You have like this button you push, and you just shut it off. And then you can't feel it. But then you can't feel this either. If you shut off one thing, you're not connected to the world. So there's this other part of you that really wants to be connected to the world. I think it says here, discover your life purpose, but I think I'm gonna look past that and just look at the imagery here. And I don't know if you can see, there's like this ghost up here. So something is kind of like, you're kind of trying to live your life, right? Going about your day, playing the violin, having relationships, friendships, traveling, whatever, right? But there's this ghost that's haunting you. And it's this here. And you keep running from it, and you keep kind of having this life. But this ghost keeps following you. So in reality, I don't think you're following in your own rhythm. I think you're running. And I think you're telling yourself that you're following your own rhythm. Because nothing's going to pin you down. No one's going to put, no one's going to, trap you, and no one's, you're a free bird, and you can do whatever you want. You don't want, no strings attached kind of thing. So interesting also with like the creativity card, because I feel like you might be a very creative person as well, and kind of that, there's this artist kind of personality or way of life, or artist soul, I want to say. My ex-husband told me years ago when we were together, he said to me, like, you have an artist soul. And I think that's that's going with the flow, kind of spontaneous energy and creating, and a bit mystical, I think. Because I can see myself in the traveling parts and stuff like this as well, taking things in, and I want to experience all colors of life, all seasons of life. I am that's kind of the artist's soul. Want to suck everything in and experience everything, but you're closing off, so you're not really actually connected to the world, which makes you not experience it. So you're there, but you're not connected to it. Does that make sense? And I think you're kind of in the same way as you're running from the wound, the same way you're kind of chasing connection. So let's see what the wound is. I see what... Okay, I'm going to try again with this shadow deck. I tried, this is the third time. See if we can see the wound. But it's a general reading, so, it doesn't necessarily resonate. Lazy. Oh, you might have lost a pet. A very significant pet you had a close bond with. Is there other runes? Yeah, vulnerable. Just want to see if there's others. So this is the wound for just being in the world, right? When you're vulnerable. And this is just, butterflies are such beautiful little souls, right? They spread joy and wonder wherever they go, or wherever they fly. People are always like, oh, it's a butterfly, beautiful. And, but they're so sensitive, like their wings are so fragile. And there's a freedom to these as well, I think. So being that vulnerable person in this world, can make you shut down, because just life in general is, the way the world is meeting you is tough. Got liar here, but I just want to focus on the masks. So that's, again, as when you're vulnerable, or when you don't really fit into the world, you're wearing masks. And I feel like when you're here following your own rhythm, you don't wear a mask. I feel like in relationships it's so hard for you, because you don't fit into what people expect from you, or what they want from you, or maybe you're even connecting on a deeper level than most people, and so they can't give you what you need, right? And so you kind of get hurt. But whatever it is, there's something here about being disconnected and running and chasing. So running from the wound and chasing connection. So like traveling, because we go new places in the world, we get new inputs, and that kind of awakens something in us. But it's still not the same as connection. I feel like there's something here, a barrier, right? And that could be like just who you are in this world. Being vulnerable creates this barrier, because the world is not suited for vulnerable people. Or it could be a grief from losing a beloved pet or beloved friend. It could also be a human, right? Let's see what the world wants for you in love. What does the world want for you in love? Whoa. Oh, that's too many. That's like 10 cards or something like that. Okay, I'm just gonna do this one first. This is calling me. Okay. Interesting. Because first pile got this one as well. So say what you mean. How teachable are you in sexuality? So this is kind of like the feeling I got with the masks, is that The blockage for you can be that you are not wearing a mask. And so when you are being truly who you are and saying what you want and what you mean to other people, it's too straightforward. And they get offended, or they get hurt, or they get or feel pressure if you're stating your need or something like that. But what they're saying to me is that it's just not the right people. You know, don't hide yourself, because then the right people can't find you. So don't wear a mask, but also don't run. Stop running. It's kind of what I'm, because you can have all seasons of life with a companion. You don't have to do it alone. And it's kind of like you're so used to running, so you end up being alone. Look at this. She's got this violin here. And the guy up here, again, playing the violin, right? And here she's just looking at it. There's something about this. How teachable are you? How many times do you have to experience something to learn the lesson? Right? Wow, is this the same girl? Could be. So maybe this is she's got now. You know, if you want to create a story. Or maybe she had, no, I'm just making up stories in my head here, but maybe she had a violin, right? Let's say she inherited from her dad. Her dad died. She loved him playing the violin. She inherited the violin, but never learned to play it. So she met a guy who could actually play it, and now she enjoys the violin again. Oh my God, you guys, that is so, I actually really love that, because see here. If you look at this, again, could be the same woman with the blonde hair, right? There's this hole in her soul. She's so hurt, right? And to the extent that she has this vampire teeth, and she's bleeding from her mouth because she bit someone, right? Trying to suck out the blood. So people can get so devastated that they can't fill up their own I want to say spirit or whatever, so they kind of suck it out of others. So you kind of become an emotional vampire. And I don't know what it's so hard to do this reading with an empty head. And also this statue, right? Like it's like a skeleton inside. It's just miserable, right? Miserable feeling. And so there's also a grief with the violin, like inheriting that from her dad, right? But then she meets this guy. So it's kind of with these here. Right? This is her here. This is her here. And I want to put this over here as well, actually, because like these two are the gray, the defending, the keeping people at bay kind of energy, because she's in a sorrow, right? And over here, because she opened up, then there was room for this guy to come into her life. It's not the other way around. It's not this guy coming into her life and opening her up. It's her opening herself by looking at the hole in the soul, by realizing it's there and nurturing, and stop running from it, right? Stop running. And so when she does that, that's going to be room for this guy there. And she has this violin, and he's playing the music for her. So she has music in her life again, even though she couldn't create it herself. That's the co-creation of people and relationships. Like, we can't do everything ourselves. Like, we have to interact or interchange or we are all little islands that change. So on your islands, you grow corn right? And on another island, someone catches fish. And on a third island, someone has fresh water, right? You need fresh water, you need fish, they need corn. So you interact and you give each other what equal give and take, right? That's interdependent relationship. So what you're doing now is independent, right? And the opposite is codependent. So codependent is when you're too reliant of each other or on another person. Independent is just you being you and not changing your corn with anyone, but you're not getting fish and you're not getting fresh water either. So you're in kind of a survival mode because you need that for nutrition and you need fresh water, right? So that makes you you're still in the world, but you're not connecting to the world, right? So when you start opening up and first of all, meeting yourself in your wound and listening to yourself, what you need, and don't diminish it and don't turn your back on your emotions and your memories and your personality and stuff like that. You've got to be strong and not in the independent way, but in the way of loving yourself and saying, I am who I am, and I have these needs, and I can't stay in relationship where I can't get these needs fulfilled, and I can't stay in relationship with people who have needs from me. You need something from me that I can't fulfill, because it's gonna create resentment either way, right? So it's about finding matches. No one's wrong here for needing more or less or anything like that, or can give more or less. It's about matching with people. So for you to find a good match, you have to come together with yourself and listen to what you need, listen to who you are, listen to what you want from life and stuff like that. There's the sexuality card as well. So I'm thinking that, because this is what life wants to give you, right? So I'm thinking there's some blockages with you in the way you are in your body. Again, as I was saying, like I'm so empty in my head, I can't think. And the way I'm in this world is through sensing and feeling. Like that is my whole body and my nervous system connecting with me and talking to me and communicating. And there's something here that you're not doing that. Like your body wants to connect with you, right? Feeling all kind of sensations, like picking up sand and let it run through your fingers, or walking barefoot through on the beach where the ocean kind of washes up, right? So you feel the water on your feet, or feeling the breeze in your hair, like those small things in nature. Also, buy a gorgeous, delicious cake and just taste it with all the fibers. Don't sit there scrolling your phone while you're eating it. Like, close your eyes, sniff the cake, take it all in, take a small bite, taste with all your mouth. Like, take your time, right? That's the body that gets to experience the world. And that's a part of wanting to experience all seasons, is that your body needs to emerge in things as well, and you need to slow down if you're doing that, right? You can't emerge in thing in haste. Like if you're stressed, you can't emerge. Stress is a runaway feeling, right? Escaping feeling. Yeah, so life wants for you in love to connect with yourself, and when you begin doing that, you begin trading your corn with fish and water and whatever there is out there, right? And then this person is going to come into your life and kind of do a duet, I'm going to say, and live the seasons with you. So it's going to be more relationships you don't put to the grave, because it's kind of like you stop running, because what you were running from was the wound. So when you start addressing that and looking at what's hurting inside of you, or what you really need, what your body needs from you, then you're not running and you're not escaping anymore, right? And you're meeting yourself, and that's going to open up. Oops. Okay, very interesting. Let's see. The last one is work. We have so many cards here now, so I'm just gonna put them all in one pile. Also, like with the stag has a leader energy, right? Leading. So if you imagine the stag is your conscious mind, and the deer, the pack of deer that is with him, is the unconscious. So the unconscious with the wound and stuff like that is the what's the opposite of predator animals? Prey. Yeah. So it's the prey. So okay, I don't think I'm explaining this right. The conscious mind, what you know you're thinking, what you know you're feeling, it's like 5% of us, right? And the rest of us and the way we react, what we say and what we do is governed by 95% of the unconscious. So that's things that we don't really control and we don't really have access to because it's just a running thing. So running thing, meaning like the baseline is just functioning. You don't really think about it. So we have to draw the unconscious to the conscious to work on it. So you can have unconscious wounds that you don't really think about or you're not aware of, but you're still acting on them. But you're not conscious about it. You don't know that's why you're acting like you do or saying what you do. So you might not even know you're running, but something might resonate because if you're still here in the reading, something must have resonated. So even though you don't realize you're running, some part of you do know that you are, right? So this is your conscious, the stag. And so the deer that he's guiding, right, all the females, is the unconscious. And they are prey. So they get scared easily by wolves, by foxes, by whatever wants to eat them, right? Humans. And that's the unconscious that you're walking around with. It's prey. You get very easily scared. That's why you're running. So you have to become the stag. You have to work on bringing the unconscious to the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is where you can sit, like in therapy or study shadow work or inner child healing or stuff like that. That is bringing the unconscious to the conscious, where you can look at it and heal it and release it. And that's what I feel like you need to do in life. Okay, let's look at work, or your I want to say kind of position here on the planet. What do you want from life regarding to work? Do we want this as well? Just a second, I'm just tuning in. Yeah, we do. Okay. Oh. Vision quests. Very curious soul indeed. You are, again, with the traveling energy. I feel like there's something here. I'm not getting any specific on work, but this to me is a sunrise. So there's something about getting out of the darkness. Not for you, I think, but helping other people getting out of the darkness. So that could be Anonymous Alcoholics being a sponsor. It could be working with children who's been in abusive homes. It could be working as a therapist, helping people, get out of the darkness. A coach. It could be a nurse or a doctor, people who's been battling illness or for many years live this life in kind of darkness, and when they go to the doctor or practitioner, they can help them, bring them back to light, right, with the right nutrition or medicine or operation or whatever it takes, right? So there's something about bringing people out from the darkness. It's beautiful. Let's see what life wants for you regarding work. Teaching. Yeah, I love that. Just gonna grab one from this deck as well. What does life want for you regarding work? Okay. Like half the pile is just a second. Just a second. I'm sure it's here. Just gonna... Okay, that's a lot of cards, you guys. But, oh, okay, that's one. So the question is, what does life want for you in work? And is that self-sabotage? But that is not what life wants for you in work. This is the darkness that you're helping people out of. This is not you in self-sabotage. This is you helping people out of self-sabotage. So, for example, like an anonymous alcoholic sponsor would be a person like here helping people out of self-sabotage, because that's alcohol was not, I don't want to call that self-sabotage, because it's actually just a coping, it's a drinking and drugs is, a way to be in life when it's painful. So it's kind of, it's a tool, right? So I think it's actually not a good thing to say that self-sabotage, because there's always a reason for that. No one wants to be addicted, right? But so yes, I really love the contrast of this, because again, it's a general reading and multiple people are listening and watching. And so we have over here the very dark, like for example, addiction. And then we have over here a teacher with the kids, right? Helping kids see the light. So could also be, just so simple, like this world is so dark. So you want to bring some light into it by being a wonderful teacher, for example, for kids, or just being something positive in this dark, dark world. So it doesn't have to be this heavy work of, bringing people out of addiction or helping children who's grown up in violent homes or anything like that. It can just be, being a light in the dark, and that can be being a positive person. That can be like maybe a gym teacher, right? Trainer in the gym. Like, people come there to learn how to train their bodies, and, it's good for them and they like it, and it gives them a light in their world, and you're there to teach them, right? So it doesn't have to be this heavy energy. It could be something that you really enjoy and want to pass on as something very positive in the world, or something very positive for people, right? Yeah, I'm gonna draw our last card here for just some a little last words. Oops, on the floor. Okay, so the sky is the limit. You blow me away. Wow, I really love that, how this kind of resonated with the wind and the clouds. I think that the sky is the limit, because you have that card of wanting to experience all seasons of the world, of life, right? So I think you're already in that mindset of the sky's the limit. I don't think you know how many people you affect, actually. Like, you're very wonderful, and I feel like this is very fun. It's a fun character. So I think you blow some light and fun and lightheartedness into people's lives. Like let's say if you were a sponsor for anonymous alcoholics, you wouldn't be that, tough one, like saying like you need to do it like this. You would be the fun one. You would find a way to lift the spirit of the person and help them, again, find the light, like in a good way, but not in that tough way, right? I feel like you have again, the kids love you. You have such a beautiful energy and very soft. I feel though you can get a little harsh in your energy when you're in environments that isn't good for you. So in relationships where you're having to wear your masks and stuff like that, or where you can't be who you are, that's really tough on you, I feel. So it's important that you spend time with people where you feel there's room for you and where you are appreciated for who you are. Same goes for work, right? Yeah. So, pile number 2, that is what I have for you, and I hope you can use it. Until next time, take care. Bye. Pile number 3. You chose the killer whales. What's the other name of them? The Free Willies. The orcas, that's the name. Yeah. Killer whale. That's such a shame. They're so misunderstood. I guess that is, a message here that you feel misunderstood as well. And you're looking for real connections in life with people like you, like-minded people, but also someone who's from a different world, like a different species, right? So that could be like spiritual meaning, like fairies and aliens, mermaids, like something other than what we see in the physical world or that we interact with in the physical world. It could also be maybe someone from a different culture that you don't feel you fit into the culture that you are born and raised into, and so maybe you are more fitted somewhere else in the world, right? And this is the pistachio calcite. Very nice and very fresh and delicious energy I'm feeling. Playful. I feel like orcas is very playful as well. It's said that orcas and whales have more bandwidth of emotions than humans have, meaning they have emotions we can't even comprehend. So, as in a metaphor, that could be like we see red, blue, and yellow, but they see green, purple, orange, like so many more colors, right? So they have a bigger, broader bandwidth of emotions than we have. It's what is said, and I actually believe that. So that is very interesting. Very, very misunderstood creatures, I feel, and don't do well in captivity, as we've seen. There was a whole documentary about that. I really liked that. I can't even remember the name of it now, but it's really good. SeaWorld, something about SeaWorld, I guess. And there was this Tilikum, I think his name was, this male orca that ended up killing some of the trainers. I don't know if it was one or multiple trainers, or multiple trainers got hurt by him, but he did not do well in captivity. The others didn't either, but they didn't act out on it in the same way. So let's see. I'm going to do reading about you versus life. So what you want from life versus what life wants from you. And I'm going to do a general overall first. And then I'm going to go into romance and relationships. And then I'm going to do work, or like your reason to be here kind of thing, right? So let's see. Let's start with the general. I'm just going to see what cards we want. You know what? I got this mermaid deck. That is perfect, I think. Oh, okay. Too many. We are not shuffling. Okay. Oh, well, I guess this is shuffling, yes, but this is, to me, shuffling. That's what I ask Spirit. Sometimes I have to shuffle in that way. Sometimes I just have to do like this, and then they come out. Just too many, Spirit. We need less. What does this person from Group 3 want from life? What do they want in life? There we go. King of Pentacles, Ace of Swords reversed, 4 Wands. I feel like you are fed up with new beginnings. So this is a reading of what you want from life as of this moment, right? Where you are in life right now. So you might have been like some of the previous piles here. There was a lot of like wanting everything from life, trying everything, going new places and stuff like that. So that's where they are in life right now. That might have been you before, right? So you might have been attracted to some of the other piles, but not in the same way as this pile. So that might have been because there was some answers for you for some unanswered questions you had maybe about your past. That might be why you're being attracted to one of the other piles. But this here where you are right now, you need stability. That is so clear to me. Ace is about new beginnings, and it's it's upside down. You don't need any new beginnings right now. You need stability. The king of stability, king of pentacles, right? Pentacles is the slowest moving energy in the tarot. So it's still moving forward, but it's moving in a slow, steady pace. Like think of the turtle, right? And the king is the masculine, balanced masculine energy of creation. So to me, he's the one who creates a house. Then the Queen of Pentacles is the one who creates a home. Right? Together, they're creating stability in a fundamental way. To me, Pentacles is the physical world, the fundamental things in life. So a roof over your head, a warm bed to stay in, clean showers to get clean, food on the table, stuff like that, right? You need, where you are right now in life, stability. I think you've been through a lot. I love this one. The picture of this, Four of Wands is celebration. Some people call it like the marriage, wedding card. So celebrating a wedding, right? And it is here depicted with romance as well. So I feel like you are really, truly wanting and just craving. I feel stable, loving relationships. So that could be in romantic relationships, but also friendships and family relationships, right? You want stability, calm, peace, beauty. I feel beauty in life. Yeah, overall, just calm and steady and peaceful energy. I really love that. I feel that from this as well. And you might have kids. So I'm seeing you as this one. And if you have kids representing by this, and then this is the world, right? So you really want to introduce your kids to the world, but the world today is so chaotic and so different, right? The world above water is so different from the world underwater. And you belong in the water, as does your kid, meaning that you might have some difficulties fitting into the world, or your kid does, and your child, or whatever you want to call it. Kid. Hey, kiddo. And you really want to protect that. You really want to protect yourself, your own energy, your child's energy. And you want to give them, a peaceful upbringing, a childhood, and harmonious. And that's really difficult when introducing them to this world that the humans live in, right? Not you're still human, but everything has to be faster moving, more energy, more efficiency, more this, more that, make more money, maximize your looks, be effective, you just want to stop and breathe, right? You're sick and tired of this. You just want to live in nature and off nature and peace and quiet, and you really want to give that to your kid as well. If you don't have any kids yet, then that's in your, that's what you're thinking about. If you want to have kids, this is the world you want to give them, but that's a challenge with the human world, right? Because you don't really feel like you are matched to the way the world runs right now. Okay, so let's see what this is what you want from life right now. I really love that. Let's see what life wants from you. So to see if there's something aligned here. So they're meaning that life maybe want to bring you something that you don't really want to accept because you're in a different space. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, for example, with romantic relationships, you can have been hurt so much that your heart is closed off to someone new, and life really want to give you someone new, because they want to give you that beautiful romantic relationships. But if you're closed off to it, you can't really accept it, right? So that's just an example. But this, we're going to get to romance and relationships in a minute, but this is still the general reading of, so what does life want for pile number 3? Oh, there was a card here. Wow, you guys, I'm gonna cry. Page of Wands. She is a wood nymph, so she is living off the land. She's living off nature, in nature, just as I said you really wanted to, right? So, and she is in one with nature. She can even, you know, create fire and sustain fire without hurting anything around her. And I feel like in this world of humans, we can't really do that, right? Because when, let's say, the fire is producing food on a bigger scale, but to do that, animals have to suffer, right? So we are in this development right now, and have been for many years, where organic food and organic animals, like produce in the, when you go to the supermarket and to buy organic chicken or cow or whatever, they are much better fed, they're much better taken care of, they have much bigger space and stuff like that. But we are still miles off where we should be at this point, in my opinion. A lot of animals are still suffering, and I'm thinking that you, as this person, as your energy, is very well aware of that as well. And, you know, you are playing your part with whatever funds you have, because organic is more expensive. So, you know, don't beat yourself over the head if you can't afford organic. You know, you do your best. I feel the energy so much that you do, but you are so tired. Dang, girl, I feel you are so tired. You've been through something and you just need some rest, and you are doing your best, and you really be aware of not being mean to yourself or coming after yourself or bullying yourself, because you are really doing your best. And what you want from life right now, life wants for you as well. So life is not going to bring in new challenges at the moment. You can rest easily, and you can, you know, tend to this loving energy, peaceful energy. And I feel like this calcite, pistachio calcite, right? It's again pistachio, right? A food, so something of nature. It's very playful energy. So I feel like there's going to be more room again for your playful nature, because I feel you are, like, she's getting off kind of a fairy vibe, and fairies to me are very playful. Life wants for you to be more in nature. So they are giving you this peace and quiet, but they're really calling you into nature. Walks on the beach, walks in the forest, sitting in the forest, being with the trees. If you have a garden, then go gardening, build a sand castle, you know, do things outside. Go for walks, because that's going to clear the cobwebs in your head. You're very much in your head. You're very much in the intellectual and thinking about things. And I think that's because you've been in a situation or multiple situations for a long period of time where you had to find solutions, right? I'm just going to grab this set here. It's talking to me. And so it's very hard to get out of that state and go from the head into the body. Let's see if there's a card that's... Yeah, here we go. 7 of Coins. Where do I put this? I'm just gonna scooch you over here. Just gonna scooch it. There you go. It says here, what you planted carefully with will in time bear fruit. So right now is the time to plant seeds, right? Right now is the time to be calm, spend time in nature. Don't start up like big things. It's okay to start up small things. Like if you have an idea, like let's say you want to write a book. It's okay to do a draft. Like you can start out writing that book, but do it because you want to. Do it because it gives you something, makes you happy. Don't do it as a chore. Don't do it because, oh, I have to do this because that's the way of making money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to, whatever you're doing, and at this time of stage in your life, you have to do it from pleasure. that's where you are right now, and that's what life wants for you. Life really wants you to slow it down, and it's going to take time, they're telling me, to get in back into the body. Okay, so you are very sensitive and you are very good at listening to your body and listening to the surroundings, but there's something about keeping those two apart. So I feel like you are a person that soaks up your environment very easily and then tend to that environment. So saying if your friend, you have a good friend who keeps getting into relationships that's toxic for him or her, and so you're there for the friend and you're comforting them and you're supporting them and you're rooting for them and stuff like that. You're using a lot of energy to be there for your friend, and that energy is it's draining for you. Okay, you need to divide. That doesn't mean you can't have this friend in your life, but it means that you have to take a step back and say, I can't be there for you right now. I still love you though. I still really like you. I still care about you. But I have my own things right now. I'm so drained. I really just need to, and also there's this thing I always say, if you're going to tie someone else's shoe for them, when are they going to learn to tie their own shoes, right? If we're so invested in other people and there for them, supporting them like 150%, that's too much. Then they're going to be reliant on us, and then they're going to come back to get more. And so it kind of creates that energy vampire thing, even though they don't really want to do that to you. If we do keep tying people's shoes, then why would they learn it on their own? You're doing it. So it's so much easier to just come to you and make you do it. So there's something here about that, pulling back your energy and focusing it on, what brings you energy as well. Okay, so let's see what we have in relationships. So that could be romantic, and it could be, so we're having this already actually. Let's put this here. I really love this. You get this energy is so beautiful. And again, also with the light green, spring kind of energy. Spring is, everything is turning green, but and flowers are erupting, but the fruit hasn't come out yet. That's in the end of the summer, right? So and I'm filming now in springtime, so it's really that putting down your seeds as we do in spring, and then that's gonna blossom throughout the summer. So in the next phase of your life, that's gonna blossom, right? Right now you just need to tend to that, the seeds, and just your own energy, and you're still coming out of winter. And winter is preserving energy. So, don't overdo it. Okay, so pile number 3. What do they want from romantic relationships here in life? I feel like we already have that answer, but let's see if there's something else. I have so many cards here. I think we're gonna do this one. This one, I like this one. This is a steampunk. I mean, that's just such a nice energy. What do they want from relationships? Pile number 3. Let's do a little shuffle. Okay. Let's see what we got here. 4 of Swords, resting. As I was saying, you really want to tone down the relationships that are draining you. You need relationships where you are in your resting energy, meaning that it doesn't take an effort to be with that person. So I think we all have people that can be a little draining to be around, even though it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's a person that talks a lot. Maybe it's a person that has high energy, even on days where we don't have that high energy. So it's kind of a mismatch on those days. Maybe it's a person where you have to do all the work in a relationship. You contact them, you write them, you call them, you ask them when are we going to see each other again. Take initiative all the time. That's draining as well. So those relationships you need to take down a notch and go direct your energy at where you get your energy back. So that might even be for some of you, might not even have that kind of friendships in your life because you're going at, because you're moving out of a pattern of being the one who ties other people's shoes, right? So when we are the one who give 80% in a relationship, like there's 100%, right? And if you give 80, the other person is only going to give 20. So if you are a person who gives 80% in relationships, you are a match to people who give 20%, because it can only be 100. It can never be more than 100. So if you give that much, there's only this little left. You have to learn to give 50%. Okay, so you are matched to other people who give 50%, and that doesn't mean all the time. Sometimes, yeah, you're the one who gives 60 or 70%. It's other times you only have 30% to give of, right? That's okay. That's fluctuation and flexibility in relationships. That's normal. But if you're always the one tying the other person's shoes, taking initiative, giving 80%, that's not a stable relationship, okay? That's not healthy for you. That's going to drain you. And so for some of you, that might be your pattern in relationships in general. And so you have to work with that. And this is the time to do that, because they're going to drain you, and you're going to automatically not have energy for it. And when we release these kind of relationships, it can get very lonely if we don't have the other relationships to lean on or go into or put energy into. And that is a hard time. But I kind of feel like you are in a place right now where you can't really do anything different. Like you can't sustain those relationships where you give 80%. That's just not possible anymore where you are in life. So they're going to fall away anyways, because the other person is used to you doing all the work. And if you're the one always taking initiative and you stop doing that, then the relationship is just going to stop on its own, right? But don't be scared of the loneliness, because new people are going to come in at some point, and you're not going to be alone forever. It is hard. I've tried it a couple of times moving throughout my life and learning this process and patterning in relationships, right? Friendships, romantic relationships, family, whatever it is. And it is tough, but you always get out on the other side. And when on the other side is waiting relationships that is much more fulfilling. So, it's worth it. That was a lot of talk. Sorry. Knight of Cups. Yeah, wow, I really love that. So Cups is emotions, feelings and stuff like that. And the Knight is forward moving energy. So we always say that they're coming into your life with a cup representing emotions to offer you, right? So new people are coming in, don't worry. Six of Swords. I can't make this up, you guys. Six of Swords is about moving to calmer waters. So oh, wow. Sorry, I'm just peeking here. Six of Swords about moving to calmer waters. So yeah, they're just what I just said, actually, Nine of Cups is about being fulfilled, wish fulfillment, they call it. So this is about learning to be in your own energy and being very independent and filling up your own cup. And so the last cup to reach the 10 of Cups is family. It's just, I want to say out of reach. It's just around the corner. That's what this person is coming in with, right? They're coming in with the last cup. So there's this time of life right now where you have to release all relationships that isn't serving you. You have to release whatever is draining you in general, actually. You have to be more in tune with nature, more calm. Turn off the electrical devices like screen time, right? Netflix, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Get more into books, get more into coloring, get more into making food that's good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, more grounded, more natural, getting away from that human world that is technology and dopamine chasing and stuff like that. You can't do it in one day, right? Because you've been hooked, you've been caught in this, as so many people are, because you've been in you've had a really rough patch where you came from. Now it's more peaceful. I don't think you believe it is. I think there's something in you that is waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's not. Like the world is life is saying that it's peaceful now. I'm not going to bring anything in, and you decide what you want to sow, right? That's what they're saying with this card here. 7 of coins. You decide what you want to sow, and during the next phase of your life, that's going to blossom. So they don't have challenges for you coming in. Doesn't mean you don't. We always get some kind of challenge, but it's not those big challenges that you're used to. Okay, we don't. That's not in the cards for you in your current life or moving forward in the next phase of your life. I can't say if it's coming in later, but it's not in the cards. What is in the cards is peace and calm and quiet and healing. Taking things slow and moving forward in a steady pace. So in that time, you have the energy to fulfill yourself, move away from whatever drains you, and start sowing those seeds, and do things because you like to do it. Do it because it makes you happy. Do it because it fills your cup, right? And then we have the Emperor. He is the king of all kings. But I really love that, because that's such a transition from your general energy that you want from life, that slow and steady, moving forward energy in a quiet pace, right? Peace and calm. And so the king of all kings with the Emperor is when you're how do you say that? When you're in this energy of beginning to calm down and take things one step at a time, stop up, breathe, smell the roses, stuff like that. Do things that you love because you love it. Don't do instead of doing things because you have to, right? Of course, there will still be things we have to do. You know what I mean, right? When you do that, this is the energy, like it's moving forward and ending up on the Emperor, king of all kings, being in that masculine, balanced energy. To me is safety, right? He is the one who building the foundation that you can build the rest of your life on. So this is kind of, I know you don't want a new beginning, but it's kind of a new beginning, because all in a sense of, because you're used to new beginnings being something being thrown at you, obstacles or challenges or sorrow and pain and stuff like that. But this is a new beginning in of saying, okay, we had all that, you came through it, and you're scarred, you're wounded, not gonna lie, but now is the time for peace. You're not gonna get thrown anything at you for a long while. You're moving to calmer waters. You're learning to fulfill yourself, fill your own cup. Other people, new people are going to come in and bring you the last cup that makes it all, a 10 is the fulfillment. Sorry, guys, it's just blank, because this is, I was asking what you want from life. And I've actually given you an answer what life wants for you. And I think that's because we already know what you want from life. You want those calm relationships. I'm just going to ask, I want to know the romantic. So let's see. Let's do this one here. So life wants for you this fulfillment in relationships. But I just want to know, like, that's all relationships, right? So I want to know the romantic. What do you want from life in romantic? Ooh, shadow cards. That's do I dare? Because there's never know what's gonna come out of this deck. What do you want from life in the romantic sense? Okay. You're definitely done with the fake. This is interesting because even though you want, this is a general reading, so it might not fit you all, but even though you want that peace and quiet and calmness in your life, you also want adventure in the romantic part but you also want to hide. You see, these are two differences. I think you want to go from hiding, which is where you are now, protecting your heart, letting go of the mask and be fragile, just be you. And then like be ready for that adventure that a new relationship is going to bring, because you know a relationship always brings something new, and you have to be, it takes work, you guys, you know that, right? So, but I think you're tired of hiding and putting on a mask, and you're tired of being there for everybody else. So this energy of going into filling your own cups is also the energy of letting the mask go, letting the hood down, right? Be fragile. And you're going to find relationships, friendships, romantic, whatever, that is open to this fragile part of you, and that is ready to go on an adventure with that part, right? Saying that, you know, that balanced masculine energy, saying that I see you, and, you know, I sit with you here in the grass, but we are also this. We are also full of love. We're also full of life. We're also, like, this could also be like something speeding up, right? I feel like in your relationships, you might have had those, you had to do all the work, again, as in your friendships, right? In your romantic relationship, you couldn't really be who you were because your partner wasn't strong enough to, how do you say that? You know, embrace your fragile side. So you had to be the more masculine, taking care of them. And you really need that masculine energy to just say, get on my bike. How's that saying? Get in, bitch. We're going shopping. For Mean Girls. You're like a guy just saying, get on my bike. I'm driving, right? He's the one in charge, and you're safe with him. He knows what he's doing, and he's going to take you somewhere. Like, I feel like you're so ready for that, but you never really experienced that. So there's a part of you that doesn't quite believe in it, is what I want to say. Let's see what life wants for you in romantic. What does life want for part 3 in the romantic relationship? See if it matches. That's too many. Is it? Yeah, it is. Not that many, Spirit. What does life want for part 3? New beginnings. I don't like this 7 of Swords. That's a very sneaky energy. This is also interesting because this is Ace of Swords, which we also had here upside down. Don't want new beginnings, but life wants to bring you a new beginning in relationships, meaning that it won't be the same kind that you're used to in romantic relationships. But I wonder if this is kind of a testing. See, what does life want to bring pile 3 in romantic relationships? It's making me kind of nervous. I don't like it. I like it, you guys. Okay. Just scooching over here. Just a second. So, new beginnings. Going from this is kind of, I feel like the energy, this is sneaking off in the night, right? Someone's stealing your energy. I feel all these glowing swords is representing different kinds of energy. So we're going from that to a new beginning. And with that, this belongs over here, this belongs over here, this belongs over here, and this belongs over here. So this is 2 queens. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just having fun with myself over here. So the old energy was this, someone stealing your energy, right? You're tying their shoes, you're taking initiative, you're in the masculine role of doing the hard work kind of thing. Like there's giving 80, getting 20%, right? And in that energy, you are this Queen of Swords, who is like represented with winter here and snow, right? Not very emotional. There's no room for that fragile part of you, as I spoke about. And you are also in the Eight of Swords energy, which is someone deceiving themselves. This Seven of Swords energy is someone deceiving you. Eight of Swords energy is you deceiving yourself. So in this energy over here, you are in your head a lot. You are in solution mind. You are overthinking. You're trying to find the logic in things. You are fooling yourself because this person is fooling you, and you want to see, the good side. Oh, but this also, and making excuses and stuff like that. This is the old energy that you're coming from. Life wants to give you new energy. And with that is the star. Star card is a wish fulfillment. Your wish coming true. You're going through, how do you say that? You are guided by your true north. This is the North Star. And you are becoming Queen of Wands. Okay, she's passionate. She's full of life. She's creative. And I feel like this here period that you're in right now in life, and also moving forward, is this period of rest, right? Four of Swords is rest. And then you learning to fill your own cup, making you not a match to this energy anymore, because this energy is over here is you giving 80% and they give it 20, and you are making excuses for that. You're moving over to this here because you don't have energy for this anymore. It's just not possible to have these kind of relationships, friendships, family, or romantic. It's not possible anymore. So you are moving over into this new energy and the new beginning here. Swords is the mental, but to me it's always also, cutting to the bone, like normal bullshit. So I think there's going to be some blindfolding taking off in the next era, or in the era you're in right now. There's something realizing that, and that doesn't, I just want to say, it doesn't mean that this person here is evil or anything like that, or has bad intention. It could be a person with depression, right? And so they don't have more to give than 20%. And so you give 80% and you're telling yourself that you're good with that. But reality is that you're not, because when you're in a relationship, when you give 80 and get 20, you become the Snow Queen. There's not room for your emotions, for your fragile energy, for you to be, you always have to be the bigger person, right? So there's no balance here. So it's just to say that this person doesn't necessarily want to steal your energy. And you're not necessarily have been in, bad or narcissistic or whatever relationships. It's just that you've given too much. You haven't understood your value. So that is what the era you're in now, what life wants from you now, is for you to understand your value and what you give to the world, and that you should stop giving 80%, tone it down a bit and learn to receive more. And with that, you draw in people who also give 50 where you give 50. And that gives more energy for you, because you're not tending to your environment all the time. You're tending more to you. So you grow and you become this beautiful woman. And that attracts, again, another type of people. So it's going to attract another man into your life. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So let's see what life wants for you in like work, what you want from life in like work, or how do you say that? Like, what are you here for, right? If there's something you really want to do in life. Okay. Sexual arts. So I'm immediately thinking of a tantra teacher, how do you say that? Yeah. Or also like for me, the fire here, and sexual energy is associated with what do you call that chakra in English? Root chakra. I call it Hera chakra. That's the Danish. The orange chakra. I can't remember now. But I can't remember right now. I'm sorry, but other parts of that chakra is like sexual energy, creative energy, passionate energy in total. So it could also be creating something, paintings, cooking classes, writing a book, stuff like that. And maybe I want to say do more on your social media, but that kind of contradicts. That kind of contradicts getting away from the screen. But you might, your journey into being more in nature, more in, how do you say that? My English right now is just more in tune with nature, maybe inspire you to do it for someone else, in general, share your story, and would do that on social media. That's creating something out as well, Yeah, talking stick, or yeah, like that. So there's something about being a guide or influencer or someone or a therapist or teacher, or something about sharing your words, your values, your way of life out there in the world. So let's see what life wants for you, if that's a match. Let's do the Doreen Virtue. What's this called? Life purpose, yeah. What does life want for you? Okay. Wait, you guys. I'm tired too. Wow, you guys. Creative expression, heart's desire. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. As I was saying, with the sacral chakra, that's the name. Yeah, so it's not necessarily you being you guys, my head is empty. This is you. This is too much information. You're being fed up. You're done now, right? So I'm gonna end this soon. But yeah, creative expression. I just want to say life wants for you what you want from life in regards of your, why you're here. Your heart's desire, right? So what you want from life, where you feel inspired to do what makes you happy, that is what life wants for you as well. Oh, you guys, I think that's enough for now. I feel full, and I think you're full as well, because I'm sitting in your energy. So also this took 42 minutes, so I understand. But you're doing good. You're doing great. Life is not going to throw big things at you. It really, in overall general, wants for you what you want from life. So more peace and calm and quiet. Work on, less screen time, more books, more creativity, more time in nature. Pulling your energy away from people where it's a 80-20 ratio relationship, right? Take care of yourself. Do what feels good for you. Move towards relationships where it's more 50-50. And be open to new relationships, because something is shifting inside of you. So there's going to be room. You're going to be a match for something new, right? When you're used to be a match for a 80-20 ratio relationship, now you're going to move into be a match to a 50-50 relationship. So that's again in friendships and romantic relationship, co-workers, stuff like that. So yeah, I hope this resonated, you guys. If it did, if you can use it, please give the video a thumbs up so we can get out to more people who needs to hear this. And until next time, take care. Bye. Pile number 4. You chose the bee and the rose quartz crystal. So we're going to have a look at what you want from life versus what life wants for you. And we're going to do an overall first, and then we're going to look at relationships, and then we're going to look at your life purpose, workforce kind of thing. Let's see what the bee says. I feel the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this is that you're very creative and you love to make things beautiful. So I say this because I have these honeybee combs here, which is kind of the practical work of the bee, right? So the bees are a social animal. It's very, it keeps busy, a busy bee. It never really rests. It doesn't rest for long, at least. And the downside of the bee is kind of it's going to work itself to death, right? But it's very highly sociable. I feel you as well, a social butterfly, I'm hearing. I'm thinking about these wings as well. There's a kind of a little bit of a butterfly aesthetic. How do you say that? Aesthetic. I want to say butterfly effect, but that's a totally different thing. But I see, so we have all the practical stuff, and you're kind of the one who's putting the icing on the cake, right? So you want to create a beautiful world is what I'm hearing. And yeah, the funny thing is that there was a vision that came to me years ago. I think it was in a meditation or something. I can't remember now, but I was so confused as to why I'm here. What is my purpose here on earth? And so I had this vision of me as a young girl, maybe 3 years old approximately, and I was walking a barren earth, so say like a desert or something like that, right? And I was holding the hand of an adult man, and we were walking through this desert, barren world. And in my other hand, I was holding a little basket, a weeded basket, like with sticks weeded together to create a basket. And in that little basket was some seeds, flower seeds. So I was sent here to spread these seeds in this barren land for things to grow, right? And the funny thing is that this man that was with me was kind of like he was just here to drop me off and kind of walk me through my first couple of steps, and then he vanished, and then it was only me, and I was still like 3 years old, right? Very, very young. And I'm not sure what that 3 years old means, if it's if I'm very new to this task or whatever it is, in age for me is the older you are, the wiser you are when it's represented in symbolics. And so an old person shown to me in a symbolic way is a person that has lived many lifetimes, right? Whereas a newborn would be new to this kind of life, or a new soul, or new on this planet, or whatever it is, right? So, yeah. So the reason I'm telling you this is I'm guessing you might have the same purpose here on Earth to, I want to say, beautify things. Like this bee is so, I don't know how, but it's just so feminine, I think. I don't know if it's the flower, or if it's the colored wings, but it's just so, that feminine touch I'm feeling, right? So soft and so loving and so dear. How do you say that? Very beautiful. I'm so excited about this pile, you guys. And also, of course, the rose quartz. So rose quartz is about love and empathy, and goes very well with the heart chakra, to opening the heart chakra and healing the heart chakra. And this is a raw crystal. So again, with my vision of me being a young child, not polished, right? Kept coming in raw into this world. And I think there's something beautiful about that, because you don't really want the world to shape you, right? You don't want the world to take off your edges and make you into something they want. Like, you can still be this loving, like rose quartz is the embodiment of love, right? You can still be this loving energy and this loving creature, or but still have the edge, right? You don't have to be polished. You don't have to be likable by everybody. You don't have to be. Yeah, I feel like if I'm just gonna take this as a comparison from the first pile, it's so smooth, right? It still has its things that makes it unique and stuff like that, but it's so smooth. Like the world, it kind of smoothed itself over to fit into the world, and you're not like that, I feel, right? It's kind of in your DNA, in your soul print or whatever it is. It's kind of whenever the world tries to make you fit in, you kind of rebel against it. And it's so weird because it's in this, you still have this, you're still built of love, like you are love. And I think and I think we're thinking of love as something smooth and not rebellious and something that kind of glosses things over or turns the other cheek and stuff like that. But that's not love. That's not self-love, to just turn the other cheek, right? Or to polish yourself to fit in. That's not self-love. So there's something about here really standing up for yourself and being true to who you are, but still being that embodiment of love, right? And to me, this is how I feel. And I feel it's extremely hard to be in this world. It's very difficult to be in this world. I had a vision the other day before I went to sleep. My angels took me into a room on the other side. So I'm not dead or anything, but I'm just seeing, they just pulled me out of the energies of this world, the physical world we're in, right? And into the energy where deceased loved ones are, or at least a pathway towards that. And that room was so warm. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. Not temperature warm, but, warm, right? I think you get it. I think you understand what I mean if you're at this pile. And then when I was in that room, I was kind of like, I'm just going to try to step out of this room and see the difference between, the infinite love that is on the other side in the universe when we are out of this physical body, the difference between that room and this room that we are living in here on Earth, right? And it was so cold. God damn it, you guys, this world is so cold. Like, it's so difficult to be this person who's just the embodiment of love, who just came from somewhere where love is all there is, and then go down to this world and try to function as a human being in this world. Like, it feels impossible. So I'm guessing you might have that difficulty as well. Let's see. Overall, general, what you want from life. Oh, these spoke to me, so I'm just gonna grab this. Just gonna scooch on over here and just grab this. Okay. Wow. I'm so, I'm very excited to see who gets this pile, because I gotta say, like, pile 3 kind of felt like my pile too, but this here, that's my pile. So you are definitely my people. So shout out to me in the comments if this is you. I would love to see, so I don't feel so alone, and so other people who chose this pile don't feel so alone. I think we need to see that there's others like us here, right? Because it feels kind of lonely to be this loving. Deep knowing. So what do you want from life? Deep knowing. Treasure Island. I'm gonna take this non-reversed because that's what I feel it is. And time to go. So I'm thinking deep knowing is like, what you want from life is the deepest of the deepest. It's deepest connection, the knowledge that you're gathering. You want it to be important knowledge, right? So me, for example, I'm totally into psychology, and I love all that brings, attachment style, shadow sides, shadow work, love patterns. That's what I have on this channel, and I know it's so different from other tarot readers, because most tarot readers are about, what's going to happen in this month, or, how does your crush feel about you, or, twin flame readings and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not us. That's not what we need to know. We want, we want to know ourselves. We want to know life. We want to know what's going on a deeper level. We don't want to. Sure, you can listen to a reading, what's going to happen this month and stuff like that, but it's not in the same way as you're listening to this, for example. Like this here is like something you like, wow, this is me, right? When you listen to a reading about what's going to happen the next month, it's more like, well, we don't really know actually. So we can guess that might be right, but we don't know. So it's more kind of an entertaining video, right? So you're definitely here for deep knowledge, deep relationships, relationship with yourself, with animals, with humans, close relationships. So you are not a person who has a lot of close friends. You have close friends, and then you have kind of more outer circle. So, and I'm gonna guess that you're very introverted too as well. Like to go within, and I'm feeling like this is kind of a travel card to me. So going within to find the treasure within inside of you, right? It's so interesting because it's the Chinese or Indian, like there's some mythology where the world is built on the back of a turtle, or a tortoise. No, I think it's a turtle. I think it's a turtle that swims like in water like that. And so this speaks into what I've talked about already. Like, so the turtle is the world, and this is like your inner world, or the world you create with another person or an animal, or the world we're in, right? So you want to find the treasures here. And I feel like you're very discerned. How do you say that? You're very discerned. You're very focused about what you take in. So you don't watch the news, and you're careful with social media, because nowadays social media is not like what it was like 5 or 10 years ago when it was new, right? I liked Instagram when it came out, because it was pictures of my friends home, or walking the dog, or going to traveling somewhere, or their favorite food they made, or the company they had over for board night. But now it's just every other post is a commercial, or someone who's going viral with something. And don't get me wrong, I like the cat videos and stuff like that, but but I really miss that. I can't turn it off. I tried and it's not working. I don't want to see all that stuff. I want to have control of my feed, and we don't have that anymore with Instagram and Facebook and all the other social media, because they're pushing, the algorithm is pushing what they think you want to see, and of course to haul you in and get you addicted. It's horrible. So this kind of like, sometimes we need social media. I use it a lot for events. So on Facebook, because I have groups like self-development groups, and local groups where we get together and meet up and enjoy each other's company and do stuff, right? And for that, I really need Facebook. Instagram I don't use much, but I really don't want to have social media, right? And I feel like it's the same with you. You want to live here in the physical world. You don't want to connect through a screen. I don't know if I'm going too fast. Okay, so, and water is representing emotions. So here we have the ocean, right? So that is, you really want to deep dive into the emotions of the world, right? Again, I think you might be interested in psychology as well. Like, why are you who you are, and why do you feel the way you feel, and the same with other people and stuff like that, right? You want to get to it's like that iceberg, and everybody lives, that the iceberg picture when like 10% is the top of the iceberg, and underneath the water is 90%. And I feel like the world is people interacting and living their life through that 10%. Like, they have no idea what's going on underneath the surface, within themselves, within the world, or within other people. And so you're a person who lives in the deeper layer. This 10% is like just a sliver of your life, where for most people it's their whole life, right? It's just a sliver. It's just a small part of who you are, how you experience life, because you're so in the depths of who you are, and what life is, and who other people are. And the challenge with that is that when we connect, let's say there's levels, right? So the first level is the tip of the iceberg, and then there's like different level, different level going deeper, deeper to the bottom of the iceberg. That's level 10. So if you in general are living your life in a level 4, that's your starting point, where you most people is a level 1 on the tip of the iceberg, right? Your starting point is level 4, so you connect on level 4. That means that you connect with other people over here on their level 4. The problem is they don't have connection to their own level 4. They only live in their part, level 1. So you are meeting them at a deeper level that they don't even know they have. And that's going to create misunderstandings, miscommunications, like because you're sensing who they are and what they need, and why you're saying what they're saying and doing what they're doing, and you're, with the love that you are, not that you have, the love that you are, because this is who you are love. You want to try to meet that person in their needs and wants, desires, wounds and stuff like that. And that kind of triggers them because you're seeing something they don't even see themselves, but subconsciously, they're going to know that you're seeing them in a way they don't even see themselves. So they're going to feel like you see right through them, right? That's uncomfortable. And you can see shadows in them. They don't even see themselves. So can you see their secrets? Can you see their bad sides? You know what I'm saying? Everything they're trying to hide, consciously or subconsciously. So they're going to run. They're going to be triggered and, curse you out or abuse you or whatever, like, and this is also a thing that when you're a person like this, you have a tendency to stay in abusive relationships because you see the wounded inner child or whatever is going on in this other person and why they're acting like they're acting, and then you are kind of accepting it. You're kind of saying it's an excuse for why they're acting like they're acting, and then it's kind of like okay, I just need to help them heal, and I need to give them love, or, to get them better. And with that, that's the self-love we were talking about. Don't lose your edge, because that's the self-love. You don't have to be in these kind of relationships. Yes, you see why they're acting like they're acting, but you're not their therapist. Okay? You should not. It's time to go. Oh, wow, this is just coming. Ding, 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 domino effect. It's time to go. Yeah. You shouldn't be in those kind of relationships. And it's important that you learn this. I'm sorry, they just cut off my trail. My neighbor just got home and I got a little distracted. Yeah. You are, with these kind of people, you're losing your edge. It's time to go. It's time to break free. I'm feeling like they're killing off, they're taking your wings, they're kind of picking off your wings. And so your wings will regrow, but it's going to take time. And it's going to take time before they get so big that you can fly again. So you need to not have relationships like this. And that being friendships, being romantic relationships, being family. If you have toxic parents or siblings or anything like that, it's time to go. Low contact or no contact or whatever is right for you. I can't say that. It's a general reading, and I can't say either way. If it was a personal reading, I could never tell you need to go, but I could tell you what would be best for you, and you have to decide. Whew. So, okay, so that was a message, but this is what you want from life. You want that deep knowing, you want that deep experience, you want the deep relationships to yourself, to others, to animals, whatever. So let's see what life wants for you. I'm going to put this on top. We're going to do these. What does life want for my precious rose quartz lovable people? What does life want for this little busy bee? Woo! Oh, you guys. Oh my god, I love it. So, Ace of Cups and Page of Cups. This is my deck I created. So, yeah, see, that's an example of being this bee that creates beautiful things. I think it's beautiful, this deck, and I love it to bits. So Ace of Cups, new beginnings, and emotions. Water is emotion, cups is emotions. We got the Page of Cups, which pages are learning energy, new energy, messengers. And, it couldn't be like, this is so harmonious, the cup here, and that's the cup she's sitting with. So there's actually a story here in my deck here. I created. There's different storylines. So there's this mermaid. This is actually the end of the story, but there's this mermaid, and she discovers here that there's life above the ocean, above the water, and she finds this little nook inside the forest, and that's her space, her holy space, and she loves it so much that she wants to be a part of this world above water. And so she goes back. She finds a gypsy woman who has this lamp that she borrows, so she could get 3 wishes. She only needs 1 wish, and that is for her to be able to live on land. But for that, she has to let go on the life underneath the water. So she's going to move from one world to another world, right? Again, we have here, time to go. So I feel like you are kind of born in one world. This is what life wants for you, right? You're born in one world, so you're born underneath the water here, right? And it's very restrictive down there. The sun isn't, it's shining through, but it's not the same as, you can't feel the sun on your face underneath water in the same way you can above water. There is no insects, there's no birds flying, there's no, as a human, we can take a dive in the water and enjoy the water, but as a mermaid, you can't crawl onto land in the same way. So it's very restricted. So I feel like you are born in kind of a restricted world or life. It could be growing up with abusive parents, or substance, or a sick parent, or no parents, or whatever, abandonment issues, stuff like that. There's something where maybe you're left to yourself, or yeah, I feel that a lot, actually. You're kind of left to yourself, or maybe even left to be taking care of other siblings. That really didn't want to come out. I think there's a truth here that you don't want to acknowledge. I think for some of you, haven't acknowledged yet how hard your upbringing was. And in that, you can't really heal that inner child, because you have to have the acknowledge first. And because it's the grown-up part of us that makes excuses, right? Our parents did the best they could. Yes, that's true in most cases. But your parents also neglected you. That's 2 things can be true at the same time. And there needs to be, for some of you, there needs to be time to go. Like, there's moving from this world that is underneath the water to a new world, which is above water. And above water, to me, is representing clearance, like seeing everything clearly. And for some of you, you've already done this. So this is what life wants for you, right? So depending on where you are in life, you already done this. This is the bigger. And when you are above water, like, there's so much to explore, like the heaven, the stars. How do you say that? The sky is the limit. So that's the correlation with you wanting that deep knowledge of the world and deep relationships and stuff like that. That is possible above the water in this other world. This is who she becomes, actually. So this is the start of her journey, realizing there is this world above water, and she takes that journey, finds a gypsy, and gets the lamp, and makes her wish. And she goes through a period of sorrow, of releasing the old world, because it's not all bad, when you have to release the parts of you that belonged in the old world, that was a match to the old world, because those parts of you is not going to be a match to your new life above world. So she actually becomes this kind of gypsy woman herself, tarot reader and intuitive, and she always had it with her, but it just didn't really develop in the same way underneath water, because she was, it was compressed. There was a limit, right? And the water was the limit. So now the sky is the limit. She's in full bloom, and she found her purpose and her true calling here, and I just love that. So that's what life wants for you. Life wants for you to understand that there is this world, new beginning here, for you above water, where you can live out your dreams. And above water, there is, this deep knowing. It's like 1,000% bigger than underwater. I hope that makes sense. So it's been half an hour already. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so that's the overall. So let's see what you want from relationships. Okay. Let's see what card wants to speak. I think we're gonna take these. What you want from relationships, and then we're gonna look at what life wants for you in relationships. But what do you want? What does this little busy bee that loves and appreciates beauty want from relationships? What do you want? Oops. Let's take that then. 8 of Swords. So this is your subconscious speaking, I'm seeing. Subconsciously, you want a distance in your relationship. He's behind a little bar here. You have, it's kind of cute actually, because you have this puppy love, right? Which is so pure, again, with your love, that's just who you are, puppy love. But I think that you kind of put it behind bars. It's not bars, it's just it's a small fence, right? But it's still like, people can only get to the point of the fence, and you can always withdraw from the fence, but they cannot get nearer you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think when you meet people, you're very close up to the fence, and people can like snuggle you and pet you and kiss you and hug you and stuff like that. And if it gets too much, you kind of withdraw into safety. Just because these cards wanted to speak as well, some shadow cards. So this is a defense mechanism I'm feeling, but I don't know, because you guys, can we be in the world in any other way? It's kind of what I'm feeling, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we have to protect ourselves in this cold world, and this, I think this is a good way to do it. But I can say that because this is me as well. So right now, okay. Okay, so when we do this, you and me both, and whoever picked the pile. You might get it. So when we do this, have relationship through a fence, I want to say, is kind of what we're doing, right? We're silencing ourselves. So we do have a need to be closer. Like, we do have a need to have relationships where there's no fence. The closeness of that to being, I don't know, if there was another dog here on the other side of the fence, if there's no fence, then they can like cling towards each other, whatever, But when there's a fence, then you can only come this close. And so when we have relationships like that, we are silencing our own needs and wants and desires for love, because we're putting up the fence to protect ourselves. It makes sense. It's not cold. It's, it's a wooden fence. There's still this puppy love and everything. But again, people can get this close and then not further. But we want, and we are built for, close love, skin to skin. You cannot have skin to skin when you're behind a fence. So when we are protecting ourselves like this, we are not honoring our needs. So we're actually abandoning ourselves in that way. That is interesting. Let's see what life wants for us in love. What does life want? Yeah, I'm saying us now. Okay. Okay. I don't like this deck for this purpose, but let's see. Pride. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to take this one. So we see here underneath her veil is the skeleton, right? And I feel like this is underneath the surface, peeling everything back, right? This is the deep connection. Like, you cannot get any closer than to the skeleton. There's nothing underneath that, right? That is the deepest you're going to get. Life wants that for us. And I feel like this is so interesting. So she's kind of, most of her is in the world, in the visible sense, as the people who live on the 10% iceberg. So you have to know this woman for her to show what's underneath the veil. And in that sense, you know, we can be in the world in general as this puppy behind the fence. But we need to learn that when life wants for us is when we meet people who is a match to us and wants to show us love and wants to embrace us, we need to remove the fence and go even deeper. Not a lot of people, I'm hearing this right now, not a lot of people can go this deep. So it can be hard for people like us to find romantic relationships because we need this depth, but not a lot of people can go there. So, and we don't really settle. We can't really be happy in a relationship that works on a, like if we need a romantic relationship on the level 8 of the iceberg, right? Top being 1, down, bottom being 10. So let's say we need a level 8 in romantic relationships. Then we cannot have a romantic relationship with a person who's on level 4. We can have friendships there, we can have family there, sure, because there's definitely things that we can bond over in that level, but not romantic. Not building a family, not building a home, not building a life together, romantic kind of relationship. We need that on a level 8. So if we try to have the relationship with someone on a level 4, then we're going to be miserable, right? This is going to come up. Sadness. And I feel that this is kind of actually the backside of being in this love energy in this cold world is the sadness, because there's not a lot of us. And especially regarding when it comes to romantic relationships, because there's so many things that has to match on to create a romantic relationships, right? So there is this underlying kind of sadness when we don't have our close relationships, and if we're in a stage of our life where we really want or need a romantic relationship, there's going to be this sadness, because we know intuitively there's not many of us here. It's not easy to find another person on that same level with the same depth with that kind of love energy, right? Whew. Yeah. Cycles and wilds. Gonna need more cards there with this wanted to speak as well. Just gonna put this, just gonna scoot this over here. So what does life want for us in relationships? Oh, okay. Oops. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. Oh no. Oi, King of Cups. Oh, I love it. So life wants for us in relationships the best of the best. King of Cups. Cups is emotions. The king is the balanced masculine energy. So a man who can, it doesn't have to be a man, like if you are into women, you know, it's a woman, but the energy of being present when the waves are high, or when the waves come crashing in some way, waves and water being emotions, right? He's still sitting there, he's still present, he's still listening, he's listening to himself and his emotions. He's listening to you and your emotions. He's wanting to meet you where you are. And I think in a lot of the relationships we had before, like if you've been in kind of abusive relationships, or even, it doesn't even have to be abusive relationships, but I've experienced friendships and romantic relationships where there's only room for right and wrong. There isn't room for your experience and my experience, and let's put that together. You know what I'm saying? There's not room for you and me against the problem. There's only room for you did me wrong, you're wrong. Or I feel triggered and you did that to me. You know what I'm saying? So there's kind of a finding the villain, pointing out the villain in the relationship. And this guy is not like that. This guy is, okay, I'm just going to sit here, listen to how you feel and what's going on inside of you. And I'm going to sit here and tell you what's going on inside of me and what I feel. And together we're going to kind of figure out what's going on, who got triggered and what's got triggered, and what do we need from each other? What do we need from ourselves? You know, they're the deep person who wants to go deeper with you. This is very interesting. So I feel like I'm just gonna this is heavy energy because there's this, the world wants for us to be wild and free. I love this beautiful red dress. It's sensual, it's sexual, and you know, the wind in the dress, the wind in her hair, and she's traveling by her own light, right? It's beautiful, it's freedom, it's, yeah. And life wants that for us in our romantic relationships and relationship in general. But we cannot have that if we are here with, this is two different energies, you see? This puppy love behind the fence. So the challenge is to give 90% of the world, right? This is 90% of the world, how they're seeing us. Give the 90% of the world the puppy love with the fence, saying, I'm going to give you love. I am love. I'm going to exude that out to the world, but I still have this fence so people can't just trespass. And then find a balance in showing this wild side to 10% of the world. You know, those who, not even 10%, it would be maybe like 1%, but you know what I'm saying? Those who come underneath, get underneath the skin. And I'm feeling it's such a difficult language. No, I'm sorry, that was a reference to Simon Talbot. It's a Danish stand-up comic. That was just, yeah. No, it's such a difficult balance to have this puppy love fence thing and then being wild in yourself, because this is so vulnerable to be in this energy. Actually, it's freeing, but it's vulnerable because you're removing the fence, so the person has access to trespassing and kind of hurt you, right? So we can only do with people we trust, except we can't really know if we can trust people before we let down the fence. Do you see what I'm saying? Because people can't show that we can trust them if we keep them at a distance. Cycles. Oops. Do we need this? Yeah. Whoa. Okay. That was. Oh. Okay. Okay. I hear you. So what we have here is Ace of Cups. This is the same card. Two different decks, of course. So Ace of Cups again. This is interesting. Interesting, you guys. The Hierophant. The World. The Tower. Wheel of Fortune. So, like, okay. Again, Wheel of Fortune. Same card, different deck. So, a lot of repetitions here. I'm feeling Cycles is also a Wheel of Fortune kind of thing. So we have that. I wanna put so Wheel of Fortune Cycles. Tower moments is when we, things crash and burn and everything is pulled to the ground. And then we have the World, which is building the new world. So this is our cycle. I'm not loving it, but what life wants for us in our relationships throughout this life is cycles of crash and burn and rebuilding. So how I experience this in my own life is throughout my life with friendships. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly working on myself, learning new things about myself, moving and expanding and changing and stuff like that. And with that, I'm doing it at a faster pace that most people are. So if I'm in a relationship, friendship, something like that isn't moving at that pace, then inevitably at some point we're not going to be a match anymore. Right? And so this card is here, the Tower, to crumble that relationship and moving on from that into building new relationships. So that can also look like I had periods in my life where I didn't really have many friends, or periods where I had no friends. And it wasn't voluntarily, but it was because I was doing a quantum leap in my self-development. Quantum leap is when we do a big step in our self-development. And so I went from being a match to something that wasn't really healthy for me, and working on myself, doing this quantum leap, then this kind of falls apart because I'm not a match to these people anymore. I'm not in the same energy. And, maybe it just fizzles out in the sand. Maybe people move away. Maybe people get family and children, don't have the time anymore. Maybe it ends in a fight. Whatever it is, it's gone. And so there's going to be a new energy that I'm going to be matched to, that where I can build up new relationships. But sometimes when we do a quantum leap, there's no friends in the in-between zone, because we're doing such a huge development in our self-development that there is no match, because we're moving so fast that there will be no match in between, because they can't keep up with that. So we're not finding anyone to match before we land in the new energy and with what we're in a match to at that point. Hierophant. So again, Ace of Cups, constantly new beginnings, constantly being offered some kind of, friendship or relationship, or a relationship with ourselves or with animals and stuff like that. Okay. So again, this is what life wants for us in relationships, and they want, the Hierophant is, to me, is the connection between man and God or the universe. So, right, we go to the priest to talk to God, you know what I'm saying, in the old days. So life wants for us, for you, to, in your relationship, to have these deeper connections, right? You're not having a connection with another man or woman, person, as, a man and God, right? You're having a connection with someone who's not God, but in between. So other people in your life who has the same depth, the same connection to the universe, the same experience of life. It won't be, of course, 100% the same, but throughout life, you will find matches. You'll be a match to people who are the same place as you are in life. And because you're moving so much in your self-development, that's going to continue throughout your life. That's who you are. You can't really stand still. but there's always going to be new relationships for you. So we have Ace of Cups twice, right? And really 3 times, because we have it with the Page of Cups as well, who has the Ace of Cups here. And so that's 3 cards for new beginnings, right? So even though things are going to fall apart, there's always going to be new beginnings for you in a relationship. There's always going to be, like, what I'm hearing is, you always have something to look forward to. Like, be excited about who's going to be your next romantic partner. You don't really know, because you don't know how much you're going to move in your self-development from now and until you meet that partner that you're going to be a match to. So let's say that's in a year. How much can happen in a year? A lot for you, because you move in a rapid pace. And in that time, you're going to be a match to the person you're going to meet at that point. So for some of you, you're going to go through life with this person the rest of your life, have children, have family, and whatever, create something together. And for others, you're going to outgrow them at some part. And, it's going to crash and maybe burn. And again, Wheel of Fortune is going to move forward. There's cycles. You're going to build a new world and build new relationships. So there's always someone out there for you, but because you're always in development, you might not be where you're be a match to them yet, right? You might have to go through things, and that happens naturally to you because you're interested in yourself and in the world, and feelings, emotions, all stuff like that. It comes natural to you. So it's not something you have to work on specifically. You just have to trust, is what I'm hearing. You have to trust that timing. You can't really, in regards to relationships, you have no control. You cannot manifest. So a lot of people is talking about manifesting your perfect partner and stuff like that. You can't, because you're changing so much all the time that if you manifest someone in now that is a match to you now, they're not going to be a match to you in 6 months. But if you meet someone a year from now, let's say, or 6 months from now, you're going to be in, the souls. So this is you, this is the other person. And if you're trying to attract someone now where you are, right, you're gonna, this is the soul contract with this person, and this is you. And so right now this person might be here. They're also always traveling in some way, but you might be faster than they are. But you're not there yet. That doesn't mean that they're further in their self-development. It's about stuff clicking in life. Okay, so there's no like, oh, they know more about themselves than I know about myself. It's nothing like that. It's where we are in life. It's way too complicated to get into here. But if you're here, we're going from start to finish, right? You're here, you want to match with this person. You're going to come up on the side of them at some point, maybe 6 months from now. But you're here right now in your life. So if you're manifesting someone right here, you're going to manifest someone who's a match to you. And that's this person. But this person is not a match to you 6 months from now. And you keep moving. So what's going to happen then? You're going to be in this relationship that is uneven, and there's not going to be a room for a new person. So you're matched to this person. You have soul contracts that you're going to meet this point in life when you're both here, right? In the crossroad. But if you're in connection with another person, then entangle in another person's energy, because that's what you're going to be, because you're a deep feeler. You cannot just have a relationship and not be entangled with them. Then you have to untangle yourself and get past, this energy, and then into building a new energy and momentum and cycles. That's going to take time. And then, you're no longer a match anymore because they're moving on with their life. So you can't, and that's not possible because you have a soul contract. So you are going to meet. And that's why you cannot manifest. You cannot manifest this person into your life, because you're going to meet someone later, and you cannot meet them with a clear energy when you're entangled with this energy, right? And so I hope that makes sense. And so when you meet, something's going to happen between you, and you're going to travel together, maybe a year, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe the rest of your life. We don't know. It's different for all people. So some people can manifest things into their life, love, a home, travel, money, whatever. You cannot manifest love because you have soul contracts with other people here, and it's laid out throughout your life, you can't do nothing about it. It's locked, okay? So you just have to trust time. Just work on you, being you. And you don't, it's not about, oh, I have to do self-rememberment course to get to a point where I can get this person, because it's not just a linear way in life. It's more like this, right? It's like a crossroad. You come here and meet at the crossroad, right? But if they're here in life and you're working on yourself, yeah, you can get there faster. But it doesn't really help if they are not there. So yeah, you can work on yourself, do courses and stuff like that, and get there faster. You still have to wait for them. And so it's timing. You're gonna get there at the right time, and you're gonna meet up at the right time. I cannot stress this enough. You have zero control of this, okay? And the other person, the people you have contracts with and throughout your life, have no control of this either. They cannot call you in either. Okay, so this is what's going on for you, regardless to relationships. You have to trust timing, and you have to trust the universe. You have to give it up to them, and you have to trust the cycle. Okay, so whatever you go and respect the cycle is actually what I'm hearing. Wow, okay, chill. Angels and guys just like respect the cycle. Okay, you cannot cheat in the cycle, right? You have to go through it. And the new beginnings, you have to go through it. You have to go through building up the new world again, right? Just respect the cycles. So when you're in this energy, don't force a new beginning. Don't force building a world. In this energy, there's sadness, there's pain, there's grief, there's sorrow, whatever it is. You have to let the tower crumble. You cannot just say, oh, the lightning hit. I know what this means. I'm out of here because I'm over here trying to build a new world. I've done this so many times. You can't do that. That's not respecting the cycles. Someone's here not respecting their cycles because they're really going at me. Like, gotta respect the cycles. Yeah, so when you're in the tower moment, when things are falling apart, there's lessons, right? And you have to wait for the tower to fall apart, the sky to clear on its own, and then you can see clearly what you need to bring from this situation forward into your next life. If you're just gonna bail as soon as you see the lightning, you didn't get the lesson, you didn't get the tools, and then you have to do it all over again, okay? So respect the cycles, because they're saying like you're dragging it out, okay? Every time you flee, you're dragging it out because you're not getting the tools, you're not getting the lessons from what you needed to learn, so you have to do it again with another person. So please, they're saying, could you not just respect the cycles so we could get a move on? So someone's really stuck in her cycles. Oh my God, guys, this is so funny. I'm sorry. So this is, wow, I can't remember what last time I did a reading that was this long, because we also have work or, life purpose. So let's see what you want from life and life purpose. Can we make it quick? No, okay. My God, guys, this is like 3 readings in one, because it's so long, it's so heavy, it's so detailed. Anyways, what do you want from life in? Okay, I love that for you. You probably don't love this because it's 7 of Wands. It doesn't seem like a good energy, but it actually is, because the first thing I see with this is defending someone. So you're here defending the underdog. You are a very strong person, and you have very big sense of righteousness, what is right and wrong, and you cannot control yourself when someone is being attacked. When an underdog is being attacked, you step in. So is this what you want for life? That's not really a good answer, I think. That's not really is. Just okay. I'm kind of high from this reading, so I'm just gonna, I can't really calm down. What you want from life. Oh. Okay. So there's an ego wound here. Oh no. You want to be important is what I'm hearing. That's why this couldn't be a quick reading. Let's dig deeper into that. You want to be important because there's things missing. So this is the energy inside of you, the wound. Four of Coins is about like clutching things, keeping things close and not letting go of things. The opposite of cycles, really. And because you have this, you're holding on to something because there's something you didn't get as a child. And that's why you have this need to feel important, which like it's on work and life purpose right now. So you might see it in your work, right? And well, in life purpose, it's just, yeah, in general, you have this, it's coming from a wound. This is interesting. Seven of Pentacles is usually about patience and, reaping what you sow and stuff like that. But I'm seeing in this story here is a pregnant woman. So this goes way, way back from you being an infant or a baby or a toddler. Yeah, you were left alone a lot. No one really, it felt like, it's not necessarily the truth, but it felt like no one really cared about your feelings. There's a cat here. I never really saw that before. So you might have been connecting with an animal in your childhood, or maybe you wished you had an animal in your childhood because you knew that would have made a difference for you. Yeah. This is the Star card. This card to me tells me that you're special. So if, like me, you are that little girl who's here to plant flowers in a desert world, right? You knew that there's always been, I don't think you felt special, but I think you always felt different. That's what we see here, right? This, like, she's not really blue. This is a normal person, but she's in the nighttime and connection to the stars. I have that as well. Crazy connection to the stars. We have the lotus flower, which is representing of personal growth. So I'm guessing as a child, you were, what people say, oh, you're so mature of your age, right? You probably heard that a lot. Oh, shut up, you guys. The wheel again? Oi. Okay, daddy issues here. King of Wands. So I have a video about daddy issues. I have one about my mommy issues as well, but maybe you should go check that out. So, okay, so what they're telling me with the wheel is, yeah, again, wow, oh my God, I can't remember when I had this in-depth reading before. It feels like such a personal reading, Again, you came from the world underneath the water. You discover the world above the water, and so that's where you're going. So with the wheel here, it's telling me this was all purposeful. Like this was some, I don't know why they're saying that, because in my experience, it is purposeful. There's always a reason, but maybe you need to hear that. You chose this life as a soul because there was something you needed to learn. There's something that you needed to go from this world to the bigger world. And I think if you're, let's see what the world wants for you in your life purpose. I think that would make more sense. But it did create this wound of you not feeling important. So your life purpose for you is, right, what you want from life is to feel important. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So let's see what life wants for you. If we can't really make sense of this. What does... think I'm kind of stuck in just picking the right deck. Usually they talk to me. They talk to me. But I feel like this is so important. I can't pick the wrong one. But I can always pick another one. But, okay, where do I put this? Here. Okay, you guys. I hope you're enjoying this time with me. Because we spent an hour together now. Okay, let's see. What does life want for you in life purpose or work? That's a lot of cards, but sure, let's try it. Desire. There's that lamb I was talking about, you guys. You know the wishes? Because from a memory to a human. Radiate. Oh my god, you guys, I can't even. So that's what happened. You know, that's what's happening. She's already radiating because she found a new world, right? But she's going, you know, found a new world, found someone to help her get to the new world. And she found, you know, this is her in her full essence of, you know, radiating who she's supposed to be. Oh my god, you guys. Courage. Yeah. Guidance. I feel like what life wants for you. Oh, that is so interesting. Your life, well, so your life purpose is to be a beacon, right? This light tower. But I am also feeling like a big, huge, they're really stressing that. A huge part of your lesson on earth is to listen. So your guides, your team, your angels, whatever on the other side is guiding you a lot. But you are kind of like, because, let's find that card again. Because you are in this state of, you know, keeping everything together, holding everything together, because if you let go, everything, you know, everything turns to shit, right? Because you're in that energy, you're not really receptive. Well, you are, but you're not as receptive as if when you let go. So a huge lesson in this life is letting go. I think that's the cycles. You know, we we experience it so many times with the tower falling apart, building a new life, new beginnings. Again, tower falling apart, building new world, new beginnings. And it's gonna create a trust that, okay, we can do it, we can rebuild. Yeah, it fucking sucks, and yes, it's hard, and the tower moments is not my favorite part of life, and I can't even count how many times I've been close to checking out of this planet because I'm just done, you know. And every time that's happened, you know, an answer just kind of fell into my lap, or, you know, I met the right person, or whatever, you know, I was whatever I needed to get on. And it's kind of like, because we have this life of these cycles with the tower, we have to be pushed. Our soul is here to be pushed to the limits. And I, for one, I'm very tired of that. I asked for a break, and I feel like this is me getting that now. And I'm not sure I want to go back to the other way of being alive. I'm okay with cycles, but I can't really, you know, it's hard rebuilding yourself all the time. But at the same time, I feel like if it happens in a pace that we can keep up with, then it's gonna create trust in ourselves, trust in life, trust in that it's gonna be okay. But if it's the pace is too fast, then there's never room to build that trust, because then as soon as you build a new thing in your life, you know, it crumbles, or something else comes in, and there's another thing. Like, I never had a happy moment in my life that wasn't that's not really true. Most, like 95% of my happy moments in my life is colored by something bad that was also there. Like, I was a chronic pain patient for about 8 years, right? I have my complex PTSD. I got that when I was 16. I was homeless for a couple of years. Like, there's been good things. Like when I was chronic pain patient, I lived at the most beautiful place in the world. I felt like I really belonged there. But, you know, I had the pain as well. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed the beautiful place and I really loved it, but there was the physical pain and the torture of going through losing yourself to this physical pain, because you can't really be who you are when you're in constant pain, right? And I feel like you've been going through this as well. It's grinding, because it's kind of like our souls chose to, let's get this, you know, we're really gonna get it in there and just evolve like tons in this lifetime. And the way to do that is, you know, tower and rebuilding. Where's those cards? And I see from a soul's perspective, yeah, I get that, but I don't really want to do it as a person. Where is the tower? It's gone. That's good riddance. It's gone. Okay, let's keep it stay gone. So yeah, so I asked for a break, and I feel like I have a break in some sorts. Let's see. You know, I'm still not at a point where I trust the universe for not, you know, knocking me over again. And I'm kind of like, I'm feeling like we do have the option to tell the universe or guides or angels or a soul or whatever that, you know, we need to slow down. I get that you know, the plan is to evolve a lot, but, you know, it's going to stop at some point if we're going to check out. And we're going to check out if it's going to get too much. So if we're going to stay here for a long time, you need to slow the fuck down. It's what I'm saying. It's what I'm feeling, and it's what I'm saying, you know, to my angels and guides and souls, whatever is in control of this. So, and I also feel like it's hard for me to be a guidance. You know, I haven't done a video in a long time because I don't have the energy for it, because what I've been struggling with, right? How am I going to be a guidance for other people if I don't have the energy for that? You know, I can't count how many times I've yelled at my at my just guides saying that. How am I supposed to sow flowers in this gold and desert world if I'm dying in the desert, right? Give me a bone, man. Give me some water. Do something. Like, give me a break. And I guess that's where courage comes in. Like, I feel it's misunderstood. Maybe that's just me. I feel like whatever life or the universe or soul, whatever, is throwing at us, you know, try to build courage and try to build strength and try to, you know, for the sake of development of the soul. I feel like it's kind of detached for what it really feels like on Earth in this human body, because that's, you know, I'm not just going to get courage. I used to have courage. I don't anymore, because I don't trust life, right? Because it's hurled so many things and obstacles at me, and I've been constant survival mode and struggle and battle and stuff like that. I don't want to live like that. So I don't know how much is locked, right? I know the relationships part is locked. That was pretty clear to me. But as I'm sitting in this energy, I'm kind of feeling like my angels and guides, soul, whatever, is actually kind of starting to realize, okay, there's only so much a human can put up with, right? So maybe they need to loosen up a bit. But still, I feel the urgency from them, because there's so many things we need to learn in this life, and I'm okay. I don't know, like, why is this so busy? Like, we're not in a hurry. Like, we could take another life here, right? It feels like, you know, chill, because I don't want to check out early, but, you know, I can't guarantee I'm not doing that if you know, life keeps throwing things at me like that way, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you guys. So, okay, so what I think I need, let's see if we have this, Doing Virtues life purpose card. Let's see if there's any life purpose for us from life. What do they want for us? You guys. Please, if you get this pile, let me know in the comments, because I don't want to feel alone. I need my other little rose cards, people, busy bees, flower planters, whatever you want to call ourselves. Okay. Can we please get something specific? We're gonna need something specific. Let's try these. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this too. Okay, sure. Wisdom. Oh, we had the father again. You remember that? Here, we had that with, go check out the daddy issues. If I remember, I'm going to link it below in the description box, but I cannot guarantee because, yeah, my memory is not very good these days. So we have wisdom. High priestess. Trees. Life purpose, what life wants for us. I keep getting things with nature, so I think you're like me. We need to get out and connect with nature more, because nature really has some gifts for us. For those of you who are spiritual, which I'm guessing all of you are, you're watching a tarot video. We can, dig deep into that. Embrace that is what I'm hearing. Don't care what other people say about it. There's a lot of wisdom in our, spiritual journey. Food and hunger. Oh, interesting. So this is not representing food and hunger. This is representing the physical world. So interesting. So what I'm feeling is I have different levels here. This is the physical world, like you are sitting here watching this video. We also have the spiritual world, like when we communicate with our angels or guides or deceased and stuff like that. Telepathy with animals, I would put in this category as well. And then we have a third world, which is the trees, with natures, with the ocean, with something else. So this is 3 different worlds that we can function in. Most people, the people, that live in that 10% of the top of the iceberg, only live in this world. They do not know this world exists, but we can connect with all 3 worlds. And I feel like that's our gift, actually. So not necessarily a life purpose, but it's our gift of being here in the world. And they really want us to use it more, Use these 3 worlds, find a balance in moving around in them, because being 90% in this world is in this cold world, right? Because these 2 worlds are not cold, but this physical world is. When we're 90% of our time in this cold world, that's not, we can't do that. That's not who we are. We really need more of this. But again, we're in a physical body, so we can't just leave like this. We have to be in this world as well. Oops, okay. Crystals and nutrition. A good way. Okay, a good way to be in the physical world is through, again, okay, so food and hunger, but it's through nutrition. So it's about how to be with your body in this physical world. You can do that through nutrition, making food, or, also exercising and stuff like that. Finding your balance and what you need in food and exercise, and what your body needs is kind of like, I feel that's important in how you exist in this physical world. Focus on your nutrition. So that might be more of making things from scratch and really having a look at what ingredients are in the things that you buy in the supermarket, right? Maybe even grow your own stuff. Crystals, so interesting with the wisdom and the high priestess, right? Your connection to crystals and gemstone is a channel for healing energy. So some of you might need to hear that. Interesting. So we have here the color of the purple, right? Which to me is the crown chakra, which is the connection to the universe, our guides, angel guides and stuff like that. And the wings are yellow, to me representing the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is where our ego lives. Ego is I think ego got a bad rep unnecessarily, because it's just here to kind of protect us. So yeah, but that's a story for another video. this is already miles long. So I feel like there's a connection between our solar plexus, our personality, our ego, whatever, and the crown chakra, which is the connection to the universe, stuff like that. So to me, that is saying, you know, we need to understand that we are earth angels or crystal children or indigo children or whatever they're calling us. To me, it's kind of like, sounds a little woo-woo. But what they're saying is, you know, you can call it whatever you want. And if you don't want to call it that, then don't call it that if it sounds woo-woo to you. But we do need to recognize that this is us in a physical world, right? So there's this, let's say this is more yellow, right? We're in this physical world, but we're also the highest priestess. We're also this very spiritual being. And we need to, it's actually a challenge, really, because people who live on that 10% top of the iceberg only have to live in this kind of world, right? We have to find a balance between all three worlds. And if we're out of balance with any of these worlds, we don't feel good. So if there's something going on with your body, you might want to check and find out how you can get in balance. What's going on is something missing from one of these three worlds, or are you missing from one of these three worlds, or you're not connecting enough? Interesting. So they want to keep giving cards. I'm just like, I'm so done. Can we just be done with it? Okay, I'm just gonna see if I guess there's a message. It's just, oh, you guys. Oh, okay. Love and beauty. Oh, okay, I can take these cards. So to me, this is just like a final message kind of thing. She's standing here with her compass. To me, is saying that, you know, there is love and beauty in this world. You have to follow your inner compass. Interesting that, you know, she has these peacock feathers here. The red feathers, the kind of the similar hair. And this is, again, the end of the journey for self-discovery, right? So there's something here about being 100% yourself and not taking shit from anybody. Not, you know, 9 out of 10 people can say, oh, you're wrong in this situation, but you know you're not wrong. And maybe one other person is supporting you and you're not wrong. You're still going to be made a villain by the 9 other people. But you need to know for yourself that that's not true. That is crazy difficult. And that's the part of being in this cold world. People don't understand the world like we do. They don't function in the world like we do. So, you know, to a lot of people, you're going to be the villain because it's just the easiest thing to do for them. And don't take it too hard. You know, that's not you. You are love. Don't polish your edges to fit in. Stay sharp. Stay itchy. You know, become a rebel. It's okay. That's still love. That's still love. You know, you're not unloving because you're setting a boundary or saying no or moving on from relationships. That doesn't mean you're unloving. That means you love yourself. And you need to give that love to yourself. So there is a lot of love and beauty in the world, and we are very fortunate to see it. But because it's kind of like we see this world, most people see this world with 3 colors, right? Let's say it like that. Blue, yellow, and red. That's all they got. But we see the world in 100 colors. We mix and match and see the nuances and stuff like that. So when we see something in the nuance, we can't explain to someone what the color green is, because they only have blue and yellow. They don't know how to mix it. So for them, you will always be wrong. Okay? You will always be wrong because they cannot see green. You cannot explain it to them. They cannot see green. So you need to guard your energy, you know, that puppy love energy. There's so many cards in this reading. you know, going to the world, being the puppy love energy to 90% of the people, and, you know, with those 10%, 5%, you get to the bone, right? But again, don't take it in when people try to make you the the villain, because they don't understand green. Don't try to explain it. Just move on. Don't waste your energy, right? Puppy love energy, just embrace that they don't know. That doesn't make you better. You just see more colors. That's just facts. That's just how it is. That doesn't make them worse. That doesn't make you better. Nothing like that. It's just different ways to be in the world. It's not a match. That's great. The sooner you recognize that, the better, because then you can move on. Find people you are a match to. So, and, you know, be the lighthouse that you are. Because if you have a lot of relationships where you have to explain the color green all the time to people who don't know and don't understand, that's going to take a lot of your energy, and then you cannot be a lighthouse to people who do understand the color green. Okay? Yeah. So, and remember, respect the cycles. Oh my God. Okay, I'm so done now. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if it resonated, give the reading a thumbs up. And please, 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 like, post a flower or a crystal or just, you know, whatever in the comments, so, you know, other people like us can see that we're not the only ones that is like, or be, or whatever, like, you know, so we can find each other and not feel so lonely in the world, because I think we really need that. So, you guys, until next time, take care. Bye.